off, swept them off the shop, and you bring that damn thing in. I love the dogs. Perkins is a great dog.
Yeah.
Was
Wait, what's his name?
Perkins.
Oh, I thought you said Mr. Perkins.
But he passed away, and
Well, that's what happens, dogs,
but
man.
he's shed everywhere.
And right after you clean the shop.
Right after I cleaned it, like, damn it, now I gotta sleep again. Sometimes he just would get up and wander around. Perkins would. We have to like tie him to the leg of the couch. He wouldn't get up and walk around.
He just was blind.
No, he just get up and get bored and walk around. You know, couldn't allow that. Couldn't allow him just to go lay at people's feet in the booth. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I mean that's what kennels are good for, though. Like,
Well, Sean can't bring a kennel with him when he's in a wheelchair. No, I don't like the kennel dogs either, man. At home,
I kennel train them.
pretty.
I kennel train them, just as far as the potty training them goes.
Mhm.
But like Sam, unfortunately, and Gus, they fight because they both have their balls, and
Oh.
Sam will kill Gus.
Yeah.
So we unfortunately have to kind of keep
Yeah,
them when
yeah.
we're gone, just because of that fighting. But for the most part, that's like Sam's room, you know. Hey, quit it. Well, Bobby, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you're here, man. Everybody, if you do not know who this man is in front of me, this is Bobby Deneen. My opinion, one of the top tattoo artists in the city.
Thank you. A lot of good ones, man.
Operates and owns, correct?
Yep.
Mindbender Tattoo on.
Not so much operates. That's my wife.
Yeah.
He
Isn't that all men?
mostly kind of runs, back end.
Yeah, that's all men.
Lets me do what I need to
The
do.
wife runs the shit, and you just kind of, yeah. But it's on 39th and is it Tulsa?
39th and Tulsa.
39th and Tulsa,
Yeah.
right next to
On
7-Eleven.
What's Browns?
What's a phone number, just in case?
600-6201, 405 area code. 405 600 6201.
And they also have an Instagram, Mindbender Tattoo.
Yep.
At Mindbender Tattoo.
Yep.
All one word. You want to check them
That's
out?
we do have a website, but Instagram's kept up.
Most people, like anytime when people ask me about my tattoos, I'm just, hey, go to their Instagram page. It shows all their artists and everything. So y'all have quite a few artists too.
8.
Full
house.
Is every booth taken up in your
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Got a bunch of old veterans up there.
Who's the most recent addition? I don't
Dave Ruiz.
met that guy.
Yeah, met Dave.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he worked at Atomic Lotus for 12 years.
And then just moved over.
Yeah. Yep. He got too busy, I guess, something like that, wasn't wanting to do walk-ins anymore.
Yeah.
Life changes, you gotta make changes.
Dude, that's one of the things that I like about y'all shop is it's all reservation. It's not. Do you take walk-ins?
We do walk-ins if someone's available.
But most of what you guys do is just completely booked stuff.
Yeah, appointments usually. Best way to get into make an appointment.
Oh, I mean, sure.
Especially if it's something big. Smaller stuff like names, and we have artists that aren't as booked out as far. Sometimes people get cancellations and give us a call or come in. I get lucky. Try to accommodate everybody as best we can.
I like the fact that you guys don't have flash art on the wall, man. If I walk into a tattoo parlor and they have flash art on the wall, I will walk out. I will.
Well, I mean,
no,
it's cool to have, ours is just different. We have a different feel. We do art shows. We have artists that, we paint, we sculpt, we do all kinds of stuff. We're full-blown artists. And I'm not saying that people that work at flash shops or we call street shops aren't good artists, but it's just more of like the way that operates is they walk in, they pick something, get it tattooed, or maybe get a custom piece from the artist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of them have pieces they've drawn up and haven't used yet to offer, but it's just a different way to operate. And You know, I think like if you're a good artist and you work in a street shop or flash shop, eventually, like if it's just assembly line, you know, people are waiting in line, you do 15, 20 tattoos a day, it gets old, you know. If you're doing the same thing over and over and dealing with the same type of people, and I'm not saying that just people don't really know how it operates because they don't do tattoos.
Yeah.
So when they come in, they think, you know, you stick your arm in a hole and zap, dude, you're done in an hour and you're off to the club, show all your friends.
Yeah.
But you know, really, if you're wanting bigger projects, it doesn't work that way. Smaller stuff, yeah, you can go and get a name or
Get it
a
done.
small piece, you know, shamrock, whatever, you know, takes 30 minutes. In and
Yeah.
out.
I have a couple small pieces that were done at flash shops in Florida. I mean, that's where I got my first tattoo. Was a
You know,
flash shop in
you can
Florida.
build a career out like, you know, you can build a lot of clientele off of that. Sometimes they're just testing the waters, you know, come in and get a small piece. Next thing you know, they're getting sleeved up. Look at you, you know. Surely when you got your first one, it wasn't a big, huge piece. It was
No, actually, it was this
real
shitty
small.
little tribal right here,
Yep, see?
right there.
The old tribal armband.
I think it was the year 2000, man. And then 2 weeks later, I got my second one,
Hell yeah. See?
and it's been downhill ever since. But me and my brother both have always wanted sleeves. Like ever
Yeah.
since we were early teens, you know, we were looking at tattoo magazines. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have a sleeve, blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, not for everyone, but you know, since it's become more popular and accepted, people that don't have any still appreciate, like the older people. That, you know, I hear it all the time. You know, grandma loves what you did. She would never get them. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, but it's just become more acceptable because people realize that real artists are doing it, not just some, you know, perverted biker, you know, that's lives, you know, tattooing out of a hole in the wall at the end of your, you know,
And it used to be associated with crime too,
right.
back in the day.
And it was like soldiers and
Hmm.
criminals and, you know,
Navy
hookers
men.
yeah, just, you know, bikers and shit. That's all the
Mhm.
people that had tattoos.
Yeah, you were a criminal if you
It's
had a tattoo of sorts back in
it's
the
an
day.
art form, and it's like over time, you know, like I don't know, I can't say for like before history, but you know, tattoos have been being done since cavemen. You know,
Hmm.
what it meant to them was more of like a hierarchy in their tribe, or like the Egyptians did them, you know, and it was for the only elite, you know, to get tattooed. Now, you know, 2,000 years later, it's come to this, but before, you know, like what, 100 years ago, it was what we just talked about:
Hmm.
sailors,
Absolutely.
bikers, and criminals that had
Yeah.
tattoos. Bad people are whores, you know.
So
Look at that
that's
whore.
slapped.
She puts out. She got a tattoo. That's not like that today.
No, man, so many people.
And it's awesome.
Accepted everywhere. Like I remember working in restaurants, but it's 24 now, easily 20 years ago, and I had to cover up my tattoos, and I worked in the kitchen. Like I had to
Hmm.
cover them up, and I was in the kitchen.
Yeah, you didn't
Like
even see
people didn't,
people.
yeah.
Like,
And
they don't want you touching my
now
food.
waiting tables,
Yeah,
I got this.
making your food.
Yeah, now waiting tables, I got this big old pot leaf growing up my arm,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "I love your tattoos."
And even weed now is like illegal.
Yeah,
So it's awesome.
so much more.
Goes hand in hand. Me.
Touche.
Yeah.
Have you always been an artist?
Yeah.
Like,
I've kind of, you know,
drawers, do
inherited
you
it from
remember?
both sides of my family. My grandma on my dad's side she painted murals. She was an oil painter, painted all the time, you know. Housewife, you know, typical old school ways.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then my uncles on my mom's side, some of them were artists too. They had a sign painting business. You know, one of them was completely colorblind. You can only tell colors through what shade it was.
Really?
Yeah, and no one even knew better until he was like, oh, you get some of them mixed up probably, but
Yeah. I
they'd be on
still.
the side of the buildings down in downtown Chicago painting like Champion Spark Plug. big, like advertisement on the side of the buildings and shit.
Yeah.
That's cool as shit. But I didn't know that until later down the road. And my mom was like, "Yeah, your uncle's an artist too." I kind of fortunate to inherit that
Were
passion.
how old were you when you started?
My
Do you
mom
remember?
showed me a drawing I did, I think, when I was like 3.
Mhm.
It was, kind of looked like a kindergartner drew it, but like it looked like a lion. I go, yeah, there's a lion. Looks like one too. Like you could tell what it
Yeah.
is, and they just like scribbles and shit. So
How old were you when you started getting good?
shit. I didn't start getting good until after I started tattooing,
Really?
actually. Yeah. I mean, I could draw, and
Yeah, but I
come up
mean,
with
some of
things
your
out of my
paintings
mind,
are
but like
ridiculously awesome. Like
that came way later. Even painting is I had to learn kind of.
so tattooing made you a better canvas artist.
Oh yeah,
Why do you
because
think
you
that
can
is?
relate it better to like oil painting, like to color tattoos. It's kind of the same. You're mixing colors to make different gradients or hues of color, and color wheel, color theory.
Yeah.
It just it's like second nature now after doing it for so long. And you put mix your colors on the palette or mix them in your tube of your ink or your machine,
Yeah.
tip of your machine.
What about the difference of paintbrush tattoo gun? Like, does that have
Um,
any correlation at all? Because I mean, it's
No,
completely
it's different
different, right?
application. Yeah, totally different.
One's skin, one's canvas.
Yeah, yeah, totally different application. But as far as color theory goes, like doing color tattoos compared to doing oil painting, it's a lot
Okay.
just with the color theory, mixing colors.
Okay.
And I think that's the hardest part.
That's Mr. Whiskers. She
Your
wants some
turn, huh?
attention. She smells your cats and wants her scent.
Now it's your turn.
Man, that cat came home with my wife at 4 a.m. one morning drunk. My wife showed
The
up.
cat was drunk.
Probably knowing my wife.
It's from the
Knowing
streets.
my wife.
It's from the streets.
She walked. I guess it was out in the parking lot of Lumpy's on Expressway.
Oh,
And my
okay.
wife got off work and she
How old
showed
is
up.
he?
Oh man, we've had that.
I mean,
Well, first of all, it's
exactly.
she, even though it's
Oh, it's
Mr.
she?
Whiskers. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask me. My wife named her. She's got to be like 8, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Got to be because we've had her almost the entire time we lived in this house, and we've been here for 9 years. So she's a good cat, man. She loves the shit out of me. My wife thinks she's gonna eat her eyeballs.
I think the boys like the females better,
Hmm.
and then the female cats like the males,
Yeah, man.
humans better.
I'll be on the couch and she'll climb up and just lay on my chest and start purring. It's so relaxing, man.
Man, my cats have nothing to do with me. They love
At
my
all?
wife. Yeah,
Are they all boys?
they're boys. Yeah, 2 boys, and she feeds them, like nurtures them and all that.
Hmm.
And they'll come around. One of our cats, he's kind of feral a little bit. He won't really let me pick him up unless I got him cornered.
Yeah.
And he's nice. He doesn't like bite or anything, but they're more her. She doesn't give a shit about me. I'm just one of them.
Yeah. Cats
You're
either
just
like you
another
or don't.
boy cat. Fuck out of
Yeah.
the way.
She's the real puss in this house.
Yeah. Women are the alphas, man. We're always trying to chase that shit down.
Yeah.
I mean, even though, the machismo or the men, we're men and all that. I think that, like you really look at it, dude, you look into nature and it's like, who's the alpha in this? Like
Take a
like
pride
a
alliance,
pack,
dude.
yeah, pride alliance.
The
Females
females,
are
the
control of the
yeah,
whole thing. They do the
the male
hunting,
is just the sperm.
Yeah, they just need him to
He's
put it in.
protection and sperm. Literally, that's all he is.
Same with wolves.
Females do all the hunting and the
Mhm.
pride of lions too,
Wolves, it's the same way.
Yeah.
Female is the alpha. Controls.
Really?
Oh yeah. If you look closely, you see that.
I think that's how it is.
Other
Every,
dogs and cats.
they like you, dog. They like you. You're a good soul.
I'm trying to be.
You're a good soul.
Trying to be.
I think that is how it is in all mammals, man. Like
Mhm.
the old saying goes, behind every strong man is a strong woman. You know what I mean?
Stronger, yeah.
Yeah. Like a
My
woman.
wife made me a better person for sure. You
Yeah.
know, like for real, man. I had a bad track record until I met her.
Yeah.
And I thought she was the craziest one.
Well, she's a redhead like mine.
Yeah.
So
But not in that way, you know, because she liked me too much, you know. She's like told me one time, like, you're the hottest guy on the planet. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, dude, you might be a little nuts. Because no one's ever said that.
how did y'all meet?
She remembers the day we met, but I don't. I was working at the Samurai, and it's a place that used to have like local music. I have friends in bands.
Were you working door or something?
Yeah, I was working the door. It was either working there or working the door and collecting money for the band. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But my brother Brian was working with her ex-boyfriend at the time. And they came up there, and she's like, do you remember when we first met? I'm like, no.
No.
I thought it was a different time. Oh, yeah, it was over at Kevin's house, you know? And she's like, no, it was at the Samurai. I'm like, well, what happened? It's like, you were working the door. And I was like, oh, that's your brother? I was like, you had a boyfriend, so I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I was like,
You were
where's
just
all
a
the girls?
redhead
Like,
walking by.
looking right past you. Like, you got a man? Come in, give me your money, get the hell out. Yeah, so
That's good. Now y'all, how long y'all been together?
14 years.
How long you been married? Is that 14?
Two.
Two.
Almost two.
Well, you took a
Two in
long time.
September. Well, you know, we had kind
You did build a
of,
business.
yeah, we built a business and, you know, have kids and stuff. We just had to wait for the right time, you know, so it'd be best for everybody.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, we never make rash decisions, you know, we always took our time with everything and it works out that way.
I know plenty of people in their 60s that are still not even married. They've just been together for 40 years, you know?
And, you know, if it wasn't for how much we loved each other and like wanted to see, it's like we're getting old, man. So, you know, you never know, dude. You could just be gone at any given moment. You just start thinking about that. It's like, well, who's going to get stuff, you know, after you need to be taken care of after.
Yeah.
If one of us dies, we need to be able to take care of each other after that. So,
Yeah.
no one else getting involved, you know, like other family. Give me that, give me this. That goes to her or goes to me.
That's what, like my
that's it,
wife, yeah.
you know.
We just,
That's
the
the only reason really
beneficiaries.
we got married. It's because we wanted to start thinking about that.
Make sure there's no question about
You
what
start getting
happens.
like health insurance and try to be healthy. You know, you quit smoking, you start exercise, whatever. You
Yeah.
eat better. Get your asshole checked.
That's coming up.
I've already done it, and you know what, man? It was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the day before sucks.
Yeah.
You gotta starve yourself. You have to
Isn't
drink
it,
that
what's
shit.
that drink that they
Oh,
make you drink that you
it
sit on the
tastes
toilet
like-
and you shit isn't it grainy? That's what I've heard from everybody is that it's like
No.
grainy.
No, I don't know. Maybe if it's a different thing, but I had like this stuff that.
It's all right. She's getting close to the end of her life.
Oh,
Speaking of that, and she has a little trouble breathing sometimes.
okay.
She'll hack in
Oh,
a second and clear it out.
What were we saying?
Yeah. Your
The-
pooper.
Oh yeah,
You're talking about
okay.
getting your pooper checked.
The stuff that we drank that you have to drink tastes like what's that soap that doctors use before a surgery, whatever it's called, that
I don't-
surgical soap. You've never used
It
that
doesn't
stuff?
have like alcohol and stuff in it or something.
Yeah, it's just you. If you
I've never been
smell
in
it,
surgery before, Bobby.
if you-
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I have. It's mold. A lot of things go wrong.
No, I mean I've never conducted surgery, so I don't wash my hands. before they-
It's the soap that you get. It's like the super clean shit.
yeah.
It smells like, it tastes like that.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible. And you have to chug it.
Gross.
If you don't, you're gonna
Throw it up.
maybe. You know, this thing
Plug
is
it
weird.
back,
It's
put it
like,
back.
yeah, put it back, dude.
Right,
Throw,
come here.
drink the whole thing. because you only want to taste it once, you know.
Yeah.
But you have to drink it twice before you go in, and then you shit your brains out.
Yeah.
That's not the bad part. It's just like water coming out.
Yeah.
It's not like the diarrhea when it burns or anything. It's just clearing everything out.
It's on. So I've always, like I said, I've heard people always say that it's grainy,
Hmm.
and I've always associated it with that mechanic hand soap.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
orange,
Like, yeah,
orange
the
stuff or
orange,
whatever.
yeah, that really gets your hands clean.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think of.
No, it's more. Just. It's more. It's not like water. Like it's a little bit thicker.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe like if you mix
Milk
honey in
almost?
with it.
Okay. Okay.
Not quite milk, but a little bit thicker than water. It tastes like shit, but yeah. But they remove the full few polyps, dude. And one of them was like looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
So you start eating better after that. You're like, I got a
And now
clean
it's
slate.
your intestines.
Yeah, got a
Yeah.
clean slate now. So eat better.
Yeah.
My wife's like, you gotta cut red meat out. She's going all extreme. I'm like, man, look, it took me years and years of Taco Bell and McDonald's to make those, dude. So if I'm gonna eat like salads and regular shit that we cook at home, I'm probably gonna be just fine.
Yeah. That man,
Get checked out.
that's honestly a lot of what it is, man. Is just quit eating out and fast
Saying
food.
you get food. It's just
I'm not
get
saying
food.
quit eating out, but quit eating out shit food.
Yeah,
You know,
stuff that isn't real. It's just packed full of empty calories and it's not
Absolutely.
nutritious for you at all.
absolutely.
It's good to have different things, variety of different foods. You can eat red meat, you can eat chicken,
Yeah.
anything really
Yeah.
that's got nutritional value, but just don't eat. A little bit of anything is okay. Too
Yeah.
much of one thing
I don't mind
you know,
treats.
like if you just eat meat and cheese, you're gonna fucking get,
Yeah.
you have a heart problem.
Yeah.
All
You
kinds
need
of
to
shit,
you need to eat blueberries and fruits and oranges and grapes.
You have all those
and apples
enzymes in
and,
your
like,
gut, dude.
yeah. I mean,
And it has to be a variety of different enzymes to fight, always be ready.
that's what I try to whenever I shop at the grocery store, we try to stay on the outside of the grocery store. That's where most of the good stuff is.
Yeah, it's where your dairy, your produce,
Yeah.
fucking vegetable.
Yeah. That's all the
nuts,
shit in the aisles. It's like you said, the empty
processed,
calories,
yeah.
processed
You
foods.
don't want the fucking bullshit cereal. None of that shit that's like packed full of sugar is
Dude,
good for you.
I haven't eaten cereal and I couldn't tell you how long, man.
I eat like more like granola. It's got almonds in it.
I mean, like
blueberries.
Frosted Flakes and Captain Crunch.
Yeah,
That's what I
but
mean
you
by
don't eat that
cereal.
shit,
Yeah.
dude. It's made. It's got so many preservatives in it to
Well, and so much
last a long
sugar,
time.
too.
It's sitting on the shelf for months. So
And so much sugar in it too.
mhm, it's all bad for you.
Someone at work the other day had some
kinds of-
Frosted Flakes, and I took some dry. I used to just eat dry cereal.
Mhm.
So good. It was so tasty. But it's Frosted Flakes and it's coated in sugar.
Mhm.
So of course it tastes good. What did you switch your diet to, like,
Oh,
as far as you eating
I mean, we
healthier?
don't have like a certain thing we eat. Like every morning, I have the granola with the almond granola, honey granola,
Uh-huh.
and milk, lactose free. Don't like
Dude,
lactose.
I've taken milk almost completely out of my diet.
But the almond stuff, and it's just not all there.
It's not
When it comes to eating cereal, you want real milk,
Yeah.
but it's lactose free at least. It lasts longer. I don't know if it's better for you or not, but
You
but
know,
blueberries and strawberries, and fresh ones, put them in
yeah.
granola. It's good. So then I eat lunch at 4. That's when I get a break.
Yeah.
That's usually just like stuff my wife makes, chicken strips and beans or rice, and it's not super healthy. We don't put shit on
Yeah,
it,
but it's
make it
better than
flavorful,
hitting the
but-
Brahms next to your car,
Yeah. Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
That used to happen a lot. Or Taco Bell, or like when I get a break, I'd take off and go grab whatever was convenient.
Yeah.
Arby's, You know what's up and down there?
Yeah.
They got all that shit at
Yeah.
39.
Yeah.
All terrible.
All of it.
I drive down 39th now. I'm like, I'll never go and eat at those places ever again.
Man, that Ann's Chicken Fry that used to be Patty Corner to you guys shut down. That place used to be pretty freaking good.
Pretty
man.
badass. Yeah.
And that was all home cooked.
And still no one
I-
moved in there. I can't believe it.
I'm surprised.
That's prime real estate over there.
It is a good spot.
I mean, if we had the money, we'd move over there. Like shit, yeah.
Have your own building instead.
Maintaining it and all that.
Have you looked into it? Do you know how much that property costs or anything?
No. I don't want to own the building. I'm getting too old for that shit.
Well,
know?
that and honestly, I think that building you might have to tear that thing down.
You'd have to do a lot of renovating to it to make it a tattoo shop.
That's what I'm
From
saying.
a restaurant, and it may even be zoned to be a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be a restaurant there,
Or
get
you
into all that
resell.
bullshit. You know, and I don't like
And that's just
from get go. I think the idea is cool, and it's a cool looking building. You know,
Yeah.
cool looking tattoo shop.
Yeah.
Sitting in its own little parking lot by itself, but at this point, you know, if it was like when I was 10, 15 years ago, well, 10 years ago, 11 almost, when we left Hannibal, we didn't have the money for it then. But
Yeah.
nor do we have that much kind of money or
Well, that would have been the
would
idea.
want to get a loan at this point in my life for that much money. No way.
Piss off, cat.
And renovating it. Have to tear all that shit out, the
Something.
kitchen. I don't know if
Yeah.
they even have all them grills and all that shit in there. Like,
Goodness.
I don't want to do
That place was pretty
Too
small
old for
for a
construction.
restaurant. That place was small for
Yeah,
a restaurant.
yeah.
So
It was cool though.
yeah.
It's very cool. It was like a what do
It
they
was a
call
mom
them?
and pop diner, wasn't it?
A staple on Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
You know, cool little
You said that
diner. you
old
know?
Cadillac in front of it.
Yeah, and the police car, that pink Cadillac.
Is that what it was? It
Neon
was a
light.
police car.
It's a police car and a pink Cadillac.
Yeah.
So the cop car was like parked this way, and then the pink Cadillac was out front.
Yeah. That place has been there for a while. Surprised it closed down, man. It was really good food. Me and my wife ate there.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Say somebody decided they wanted to become a tattoo artist. Okay.
What's my advice?
No, not what's your advice. As far as like, because I know, do all of you guys kind of go through an apprenticeship, or do you just kind of build or is it or can you build a clientele and kind of just? I guess you can't really do that because your work might be shit. You couldn't really charge very well. But like, I mean, you all kind of go through an apprenticeship. Mr. Whiskers loves you.
Well, now in the state of Oklahoma, you have to do a 2-year apprenticeship.
Oh, by law.
That's it. But
What?
when I got my license, I was doing it underground, and I was grandfathered in, and I just had to show 1,000 hours of work to the health department, like with the portfolio. It's
Yeah.
a funny story. Because Josh, you know Josh,
Yeah.
we worked together, what? Since before Cannibal. 7, 10, 18 years,
18.
almost probably around, let's just round it up to 20 years we've been working together. Anyways, when we got our licenses, our appointments were back to back. And I went in one day, showed my portfolio, and then the next day Josh had to show his. And he didn't have enough pictures, so I just loaned him some of mine. And we stepbrothers the fucking interview, or what do they call it? Yeah, the interview.
Application process,
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Because you have to go in and talk to a lady, Tressa Madden, that's who was running the tattoo health department shit. Anyways,
Did those people
I
know
went in
anything
with
about tattooing?
Josh. I went in with Josh for his interview. And she's looking
And
at
he's got your art.
Yeah, dude. You know, how long did this one take? Oh, probably. I was answering questions for him, like we did it stepbrother style. It's crazy. She's like, okay.
Did she know anything about tattooing, or is this just some bureaucrat?
She's a biker chick, you know, and I don't think they even know now, like anything really.
Yeah.
They're kind of flying by the seat of their pants.
I think
I mean,
just
they
want the
have
money from
rules.
the
They
man.
get, they have like a certain set of like they piggyback the piercing laws.
Okay.
Really, how they wrote the laws for tattooing.
Okay.
But
Watch out, she might nip you. She gets a little excited.
get excited, girl.
Yeah,
Like to bite.
she does every once in a while. But they piggyback the piercing. laws.
Piggyback the piercing laws, and basically that's what they know. The inspectors come in and they kind of just do whatever the routine is, check the paperwork, make sure it's filled out correctly.
Is that why you're considered a surgical type, medical type establishment? And
Yeah.
that's why you have to fill out that form every time.
Yeah. Every
Because that's the same
procedure,
form that
same
I filled
thing.
out whenever I got piercings
Yeah.
at 23rd Street body piercing years ago.
Yeah, that's same thing.
Yeah.
So just a waiver, in case we fuck up, that you can't sue it.
Can't see.
But yeah,
It's sad that you have to do that, but
some of the inspectors, they come in, they're nice guys and nice women, whatever, nice people, but I think they need to learn a little bit more about like what temperature does
autoclave operate
sterilize
at.
at, what temperature does a metal sterilize at?
What is it? Is that
I
165?
have no idea, like in neither do they. So like, but they're doing what they should and
Yeah.
what they need to do, yes, with the laws. But
Well, they have a place.
I'm glad it's regulated,
Yeah.
and for the safety of everybody, the clients. And a lot of people don't like the health department. They come rolling around. It's like they should turn the open sign off and lock the door. They don't want them coming in. Like they're going to be there eventually. You have to get inspected twice a year, but
Do they just show
I
up
think it's
randomly?
better that way. Yeah, yeah. They just
Kind of like
roll
in the
out.
food industry.
Mhm.
They just show up. Hey, we're here to do.
Yeah, let me see this. Let me see that. Walk around and check shit out.
Now, do they all look at you individually by artists, or do they look at you as a tattoo parlor as a whole?
Mostly as a whole. If someone's fucking up, it's on Mindbender.
Okay.
So we kind of gotta
Police
overlook
each other
stuff.
with it.
And it's not like Carissa does a good job of that. She'll get see that, hey, your bloodborne pathogens coming up. It's gonna be expired. So everything's has to be displayed. So, to the public, anyone can see your licenses and stuff. But she'll remind the artist, hey, it's coming up, do that, do this, or because they come in and they see that it's on the shop, not the artist. Unless they're didn't renew their license for however long till they get it revoked, that's on the artist.
Yeah.
But still,
That to
we
me, that
get
can't
it's
work,
weird
right?
how that works, because it's really kind of not fair to the shop because it's not our fault that individual contractor didn't have his license up to date.
Yeah.
So why should we get fined? They should get fined.
How much of a fine is
But
that?
it's like it goes I think it's like $100 added on, and then certain amount per month until you renew it, or just don't ever tattoo again.
Yeah.
And I know guys that got it, taken away for a couple of years, and we were fucking up in their life. And sorry, YouTube, screwing up in their life, and let their license,
Well, it's
expire, and had to pay a bunch of money to get it back.
kind of like servers with their alcohol
Mhm,
license. You
mhm.
have to renew every once in a while. Like if you
Yeah.
don't renew it, you can't work.
Right. Or you can't serve alcohol either.
Well, you can't legally work without it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Okay.
you have to have your liquor license to wait tables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't.
I've never
you can't
done
even
that.
You can't have somebody else take your drinks to your table for you.
Yeah, that's
You just
ridiculous. I didn't
can't
think
work.
of it like that.
Yeah, you just can't work. You have to get that license.
Unless you're underage or something. That's very rare.
Yeah,
Like at a burger place, hey, I'm gonna get beer or something. Okay, I'll have to have.
yeah, they don't serve beer though.
Right.
I mean, if I
It's
guess
kind of different, right? Beer
well,
and liquor.
cooks don't have to have a liquor license to work in a restaurant. It's just the servers, the people who serve it. So
Mhm.
I guess
You're responsible for
Burger King or
serving.
McDonald's did serve alcohol. It just have to be the person up front.
Yeah, that would be over serving. Then there's someone responsible.
Yeah.
I guess that would be. I don't know. That's my theory. Maybe that's how it is. I don't know.
Oh, what I was going to ask you about the apprentice stuff. Say somebody wanted to get started. What would they expect from apprenticeship program? You said it's got to be 2
Well, the
years. from
first
state of
year
Oklahoma.
is like curriculum. So learning how the business operates, basic customer service, cleaning. Of course, learning the tattoo, like how to do it, but not actually tattooing.
What do you mean by that? I wonder that a little bit more.
Uh, just like learning like the different needle groupings, and I can go into all different stuff. It's way how to tattoo and use this for this job, that for that job, and uh, how to apply ink, color ink compared to doing like a black and gray tattoo. It's different way that you tattoo, like
Okay.
different application. I mean, you're applying it, you're going through into the skin, but there's a different way you move your machine.
Oh, okay.
You're packing ink, when you're packing color, compared to like doing. I compare it like I said earlier, color tattooing to oil painting,
Mhm.
and then like because it's fully saturated across the whole canvas. And then you got your black and gray, which is a lot like shading with a pencil or drawing with a pencil and shade out and using the paper as your highlights. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you're using the skin as your highlights, but you apply it differently. You kind of layer it and kind of I mean, you layer both color and black and gray. But anyways,
You did say you could get into it.
I can get into it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you learn, though.
Yeah.
Uh, shit, man. Just answering the phone, way you talk to people, how you're selling yourself. So if you have a little squeaky voice, people probably ain't gonna take you serious. You have to be like, yeah, dude, I'm totally into that, man. It's fucking great. Let's get going. Like
Yeah.
to be excited about whatever it is. Even if it's something that you don't like, getting into tattooing, you got to go through the channels. You got to learn how to do all this stuff. You can be this kid that comes in with a fantastic portfolio of black and gray portrait work that you did of your whole family, and it's fantastic. But that's not what you're going to do. It might be what you're going to do for your career or you're further down the road, but if you want to build clientele, you got to take whatever comes through the door. All the small stuff, the names, little shamrocks, whatever, dice,
I had a friend.
little flash shit, smaller pieces that you can that it's somebody that's a novice or a beginner can do.
I had a friend go to Matt and just get a semicolon. That's
Mhm.
all she got. Was just literally a dot and then a semicolon, like
Right.
the comma underneath it.
And that's real simple stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like I said earlier, it's maybe a stepping stone tattoo. And that person, it's also about the experience you have with that artist. That's a lot of it, I think. I tell people all the time, you don't have to be the best. Just do your best and treat people right, and they'll come back to you, man. They know that you're trying and enjoy. I mean, what are you gonna do? Change what you got? You're gonna make it what you like. You're gonna like it, now, especially if someone nice did it for you.
Yeah.
So,
I don't really show off my tattoos that often because I get tattooed for me. I don't get tattooed for the visual pleasure of other people. They
right,
all
right.
mean something to me personally, and that's what I tell people whenever they're talking about getting tattoos. And just make sure it means something to you. Like, don't just get some random shit. I worked with this one guy who he ended up getting, I think it was like a quarter sleeve up on his shoulder, and it was kind of blocked in four different blocks. Um, and it was just color. I think it was supposed to kind of be the universe, like looking off into space. I think that's what it was supposed to be, but it really just looked like he had a skin disease.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean that's where the artistry comes in, like the
Yeah,
imagination. Some people should never pick up a tattoo machine.
yeah. And then
And some people that are good artists, I know a lot of good artists on canvas and
yeah,
digital, whatever, and they'll never pick up a tattoo. You should do tattoo. Oh, it's not for me. It's not for everyone. It's a certain, I think, cut. What's the word? What's the phrase?
certain cut from a different cloth.
Right. It's tattoo artists are
Yeah,
because you're dealing with a live canvas, and it sounds cool and all that shit to a lot of people. "Oh, it's amazing, but it's really hard. It's frustrating when you start out. I've been doing it almost 24 years, and it's become second nature now. I know what I'm doing when I sit down. But there's some days I'm nervous. I sit down. I'm like, ooh, how am I gonna cut this cat? Skin this cat.
yeah,
There's a bunch of different ways to do different styles. And you have to know.
yeah,
Some are more intimidating than others, but as an apprentice, man, you gotta do whatever comes in the door that you can handle.
well, especially I'm sure for the
That's what
first
I had to
gig.
do.
Yeah,
I don't think it's about like you. Some people they go down this avenue, they become this black and gray guy, or they're just like color realism, or traditional American or Japanese American or Japanese traditional, and that's all they do. And that's fine. They made a career out of that, but most people just do anything.
yeah,
That's what I've always done. And I'm not trying to be famous or, be this know it all, but I just feel better that way. I like the doing different shit all the time. I'm just not into that, just doing one thing. I'd rather do more. It's just more fun for me.
yeah. It seems like it would make your job more interesting
Mhm.
too than doing the same type of portrait on
Right.
somebody
It
every
just
single
gets
day.
redundant, you know what I'm saying? And it's awesome that the more you do that one style, the better you're gonna get at it, of course. I mean, if you're focusing, paying attention, honing in your skills, not just out there like, "Ooh, look at me,"
Yeah,
give a shit, dude.
no one really does. In fact, most of the time, especially when ego gets involved like that, like, oh, look at me, and then people actually kind of go the opposite way
Yeah,
of you. You know what I
I think
mean?
it's bad for your business
Yeah, for sure.
to treat people that way. They walk in, you talk down to them. I don't know if you've ever been to a shop, like walked into a tattoo shop, and the dude's like, "What do you want?"
Well, I have been
And
I have been tattooed by Tattoo Bob.
oh yeah,
So not to be confused with you,
right,
Bobby Deneen, but
right,
Tattoo Bob was a fucking
Bob
douche.
Smith.
Whatever. That's how he talked to people.
Hmm.
That like
Hmm.
anytime I was at his house when he back in the day when he was doing those out of his garage or whatever it was, the
Hmm.
way he would talk to people was exactly like that. Like he was better than them.
Right.
And I didn't know any better at the time. He was the only tattoo artist I knew at the time
Hmm.
that could tattoo me in this city. So I just kind of
Yeah,
listened
he's
to
pretty
it. But
notorious for that stuff.
yeah, he
And
didn't finish
treating
my
people.
shit.
That was another thing. Like he had nicknames.
That was
That was
actually
like we called them outline bobs. If you do they pay
outline. That's
you
when I
pay for
met
the
you.
full that you pay for the full tattoo. You just do the outline, and you'll never see him again.
My right arm. My right. That's when I met you. As I came into Cannibal Graphics, and I was like, I need some help. And I swear to God, one of you guys was like, that looks like Tattoo Bob work.
Probably, yeah.
Yes, it
We all knew
is.
who he
And I need
was.
some help finishing it.
And like I think, and this goes for not just him but everybody, that karma is real. the way you do things, heard he's got a lot of health issues and shit right now. Bad stuff, dude, and I'm like, man,
Karma's a bitch, man.
and it's just how you treat yourself and the way you act, and that's karma. It's not really this energy that it's part of it. It's an energy that's out there, but it's more your actions that you're doing and you don't realize. But if you do the right things, treat people nice, do your best, make people, give people a good experience, you'll be busy all the time.
And that's why you're doing so well, because
Mhm.
that's how you go about it.
I'm not saying I'm the best. There's a lot of guys
Yeah,
out there
Michelle's
that
doing fantastic.
I look at Instagram every day and I'm like, damn, like these guys are local, and I'm like, I'm getting old. These guys are young. I'm like, I'm worried that they're gonna like people are gonna see that and they're like, oh, over here. But you know what thing I got above that? I'm not saying all these guys are like that, but they're arrogant, and they have egos, and they just treat people like they're better than them when they walk in the door. You can't do that. You gotta treat people right, so you can stay busy all the time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this dude does badass stuff, man, but he's like $600 an hour and has a $6 minimum. And it's like, damn, now I wish I could have only had to do one tattoo a week to pay my bill.
Right? That's my wife had mentioned something earlier when we were talking about you coming over, because I said something about maybe talking about price of tattoo artists and whatnot. And she mentioned somebody that she saw recently that charges $500 an hour. Now, I'm sorry, I don't give a crap how good of an artist you are. I am not
Mhm.
paying you $500 an hour.
People will,
I know
and
I know some
they'll
people
deal with
will, but
they'll
I can't
deal with
afford that.
the bullshit experience. I had a guy one time. It was at bar after one of our art shows. We usually go to a bar, eat something, mingle with the other artists that were involved in the show, whatever. But there's a guy there that went to another local artist, and he had a lot to say about his experience and how much he's paying for. He thought he should be treated a little better with the amount of money he's paying for this guy's work. And I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, totally. Like you should be treated like that no matter how much he charges when you go into a business. It doesn't matter. The money's not the thing. To
Yeah.
me, it's not about the money. It's
The
about
customer experience.
right.
Yeah.
Giving somebody and having a good business and consistency and having people come back more.
That
You know?
and tattooing is more of an experience than going out to eat. Like
Oh
you're
yeah.
literally, this dude is
You don't sit there and
scraping
eat
on
for
your
3 to 4 hours
arm
or
for 3 to
6
4
hours,
hours.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're absolutely right. It is
You're
an
not
experience.
mingling
You
with
gotta
the
feel.
talking with your server the whole time. They're working. They're doing, you do it.
And then if you
You're
have,
sitting there like, yeah, dude, one time I was at this haunted house. Love telling ghost stories and stuff.
but that guy you're talking about, like if you go somewhere and you pay a significant amount of money and you're having a multi-session tattoo done, and on the first session you have a bad experience, well then you got to sit through multiple other sessions of the same experience.
That's what you signed up for. Like,
Or
damn, dude.
or you got to hope that you can find somebody to finish the work that somebody else started, which I know most of you guys don't really care too much about finishing other people's work. But
I mean, it's really to me like that situation. It's not about that other artist. It's about you. It's your body. It's your choice. You sound like I'm talking about abortion. Same thing with that. I feel the same. It's your body, your choice.
let's not
man.
get into
But
abortion.
yeah, we're not going to get.
We're
into
not
that
getting
shit.
into that.
That's stupid. But you're paying for the art. You choose the artist. And if it's, hey man, I need to get this fixed. Sometimes that's what it's about. It's helping somebody, not just doing whatever you like some artists do. If you can make a career out of that, cool, man. But and I'm not saying I'm trying to steal other people's clients. I'll never do that. I don't cherry pick
Yeah.
people's clients. Like I'm at the bar, man. See, I got that outline, man. What's up, dude? You can come to me. I've never done that. You know, I've heard people say that about my stuff that isn't finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy came up, Joe Schmo. I don't know. You know, I knew the guy, and like, yeah, that's funny. It's kind of like it's kind of endearing, or what's the other word? You know, like makes me feel good
Yeah.
that people want to work on that. You know,
Yeah.
because it's already cool now.
Yeah.
Cool design. You know, let me finish it. You know, like no one's gonna want to go in and see like look at all that shitty work and like, oh, let me hit that up, dude. No one
Yeah.
wants to mess with that. They want to take credit for what you did. Had experiences with Bob Smith that he's done that with me before.
Really?
I'm not gonna go into that. That's all in the past, and it's fine. But said karma. But I think it's the people, the clients that make it possible. So if they need help, that's what you're there for.
Yeah.
Whether it's fixing something up, covering it. I mean, if you don't have the confidence to cover it, then turn it down. Send it to the guy that can. We do that all the time. If somebody wants this certain style, and we're like, yeah, no one really does that here. We can do it, but there's this guy down the street at this other shop that does that for down. It's what he
That's
does.
what he does.
And he loves to do it. You know,
That's
like
good that you'll do that
Celtic
type of
knot
thing,
work.
you know?
It's like, nope, not doing that. I don't draw that stuff. It's not fun for me to draw, and it's not something you just pick off the internet. I mean, you can do like a Trinity or whatever. We can handle that shit.
Yeah.
But the guy in Edmond loves doing that stuff. Rob Scott, go see him.
That's good that you'll do
You know?
that though, you know?
We sent people there, and they've come back to us. They just wanted one piece that was like that. Okay, thanks for sending me. You did a great job. I'm coming back to get this other thing that he doesn't do, that you guys can do. I think people appreciate that, being honest. You know, not just screwing up their tattoo just for that day. You know, they make a few $100. And
Yeah.
it's not worth it, man.
Well, that's what you mean. Like it's not about the money, it's about the customer and the experience.
And that brings consistency. That brings people back more often.
Mhm.
And you don't have to charge outrageous prices. You can make, $600 a day doing two appointments a day, say at $100 an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody right now that has a regular job that's not like didn't go to college for umpteen amount of years, like to make $600 a day.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that has a regular job that makes that kind of money.
Unless you're a
And,
freaking lawyer
Exactly.
of some
But
sort.
you got to go
you
to
know.
college to
Yeah.
do that shit,
But I waiting tables, I never make $100 an hour.
No.
You know, I'm doing good if I'm making 25, 35 an hour waiting tables.
And that's, I look back at that and I'm like, man, I'd pay attention to that. Like the people that come into our shop to get tattooed, they pay a lot of money for them. They're not cheap, but they have regular jobs, dude. And they have to save up for a long time. So
Yeah.
treat them right, dude. Be there on fucking time. Sorry, YouTube, but be there on time. Do good customer service because they're giving you a lot of their hard earned money, that they worked all these hours
Yeah.
to make $300, you know. 30 but $25 an hour, dude. How long does it take you to make $300?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know?
That's why I usually set up my tattoo appointments that I have. They're usually like every month or a month and a half, which gives me time to save up some money for the appointment. You know what I mean? Because it
Right.
literally, I got bills, I got groceries,
And you
I
know
have
how
a
much
wife.
do you appreciate that? Think about it. How
You
much like you're coming and giving us your hard-earned money. So it's like, man, I appreciate that. I know what you did
Yeah.
to get here. Yeah. So do right by those people. Unless they
That's
treat
right.
you like shit.
And
They
like,
run you through the ringer, they want to, be treated special. They charge them.
that's like the people that I've been tattooed over the years, as I've gotten to know some artists I didn't know when I started with them, and then I've gotten to know them over the years. And you guys have always kind of given me a deal personally. Like, I'm sure it's different for everybody, but I mean, I've gotten to know some of you guys over the years, and we've become friends. And
Mhm.
uh, That's why when people ask me how much I pay for my tattoos, I'm like, that
Dude,
don't,
you don't like
don't I'm not
loyalty?
going to tell you how much I pay because it's not going to be the same.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
loyalty goes along, and how much you don't know how much you paid over
Yeah.
all the years. You didn't calculate. And
I
keep
actually
track.
had some dude ask me last night about how much I think. I was like, I'm sure I've probably paid close to about 10 grand, somewhere in
Mhm.
that ballpark of art on my,
Yeah.
like I don't know exactly,
Yeah, who does?
you know.
It's like
'Cause
how
what-
much gas did you how much did you pay for the gas you put in your
Well,
car? Dude?
that's what I'm saying.
How
Like,
much is a bag of groceries?
there were
That's
7
a
years.
perfect thing to tell people. Like,
There
how much is a bag of groceries?
Yeah.
It all depends on what was in it.
Yeah.
You know, like, would you get some meat
Yeah.
or did you get just, some
That's it. And plus, there were like 7 year stretches
Soup.
where I didn't get tattooed because I didn't have the money to get tattooed. Because like you said, tattooing is expensive,
Yeah,
especially if you want good quality work.
and people don't need them. That's the first thing about it is that the biggest risk you take is that people don't need this. They need food. They need gas. They need you're
Yeah.
a waiter. You're gonna if you want to be a server, you can probably find a job anywhere. Like people gonna eat. They're gonna go out and eat because they have to because they have to survive.
Yeah.
Eating.
What what is
That
the
they don't need tattoos.
what's the worst tattoo you've ever seen? I'm gonna draw you the one that I have seen.
That's hard I've seen a lot of bad ones, and that's like I've seen it on the internet. Like in person.
Yeah, in person.
The
Like,
worst.
is there anybody that came in the
Tattoo.
shop and needed work done?
I mean, that's like a matter of opinion, probably when you go in and say, like, oh, I seen this dude that had a swastika. Oh, bringing that up. Probably the worst tattoo because I hate racism and Nazi stuff. But
Oh yeah.
a guy that I used to hang out with, he went to prison for a long time, got out for a little bit, and he had like a shirt. It's like a short sleeve shirt from his short sleeve cuffs
Okay.
covered chest, back, like Hitler portraits and swastikas, dude. Just Aryan Brotherhood stuff,
Yeah.
dude. That's
Like
the
prison
worst.
tattoo?
I mean, it's like as
Style
far
or
as like quality
just-
goes, it wasn't too bad for prison style, but like that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's what disgusts me the most is
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely.
Like if you got a bad tribal tattoo and it's done, you got infections and it was done on someone's garage. They had all their dogs in there shitting around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the worst one that got infected. But that's what disgusts me the most is that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
But I'm tattooed over it. I'll cover it.
Yeah.
As long as like he even asked if I would cover all that stuff, and I'm like, man, if you go back to prison though, then what? That stuff's covered. You go back to prison, they're gonna kill you, dude. Like
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
don't
gonna be,
take too kindly.
and I'm gonna feel responsible because I covered all your stuff.
Yeah.
But that's all. I don't deal with that guy. He's not in my life. It's probably in prison again.
Probably. Hopefully you didn't get it all blacked out. You can get in trouble
No.
for that.
Yeah.
So I once slept with this crazy girl,
Oh yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
slept with this crazy girl. She texted me one morning and said, "Hey, I'm getting your name tattooed on my ass tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay, you're gonna get your name,
Yeah.
YOU apostrophe or YOUR
Yeah.
and name on
Yeah.
on your ass." She said, "No, I'm getting draws tattooed on my ass." And then see, that's what it looks like. That is
That's
what
the
she
worst
got
one.
tattooed on her ass, dude.
What's up with the eye patch?
I don't know,
Smiley
man.
face.
She got it from some dude who was
Is she drunk
I don't
at
know,
night?
man.
One eye.
I don't know. But she sent
That's
me a
weird.
picture, and that was what the dude.
And you
So
immediately.
it looks like Dr. Oz with an eye patch.
Yeah, it does. That's what it's had a dot right there.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Like it had a
Dr.
little
Oz.
R and a.
It would make more sense if it was Doctor.
flattering that my penis was that good that you got my name tattooed on you, but
He was that crazy.
she was. She was. She was.
Yeah.
That was the worst I've seen, I think. But no, you're absolutely
I
right,
could
man.
think that's the stuff that disgusts me the most.
When people tattoo hateful stuff on them, like, yeah, really, I think you're just craving for attention, man. You're craving for not acknowledgement, but you want people to look at you. And
Acceptance. You know, like when you're in prison for so long. And I don't know, like I've heard you have to pick sides, or like it depends on what prison you're in. Like if you're in a Maxims, if you're in McAllister, you probably have to pick.
well, yeah,
Hopefully, I'll never go there.
I don't ever want to
But
go to prison and find out, but I'm sure in prison that you need protection, and most of the way you get that is by joining a gang.
mhm,
I'm sure.
if I
But
ever go, I got tattooing to keep me on the fence.
there you go. You got to
Like,
get.
hey man, you want that? Okay, you want that? You go, Mexicans over here, the Hispanic people, or the blacks, or like, I'll tattoo anybody, dude. I don't care. But
Think you
this
charge
is the rule when you come in my cell, dude. It's neutral territory.
neutral.
This is a neutral.
We're just getting
cell.
tattooed.
Yeah. No about fucking. No, that goes on anything. You have to cut that out. You have to edit that one.
No, this is all live.
Oh, is it?
No editing. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I record it, is just through YouTube Live
Sweet.
until I get the proper equipment.
Okay.
So
Damn it. I should
it's all right.
have said something.
It'll be
I'm
all right.
just kidding.
It's cool.
I'm all right with everything.
I only have 57 subscribers, maybe 58 after somebody on your social media.
So if you cut on it and someone have to flag it,
I think someone has to flag it, but I've just been recommended by people
we
not
almost
to
said
use
something
the
real bad.
F word. Yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm learning. It's still a learning process. We're only 8 episodes in.
Cool.
So your brother has I think he just passed his 50th on his little
Oh
John.
yeah, John.
John.
Yeah.
I think he passed
This
50.
is the first one I've ever done, and I don't really listen to his. I don't really listen to podcasts, but
I do like when I'm opening and stuff, like when I'm opening a
Mhm.
restaurant, listening to it. But it's interesting to listen to. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this.
I'd like to. Like my friend Randy up in Edmond at Thunderdome, he does podcasts with other tattoo artists, and they talk shop and stuff. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You had any crazy clients? Like
no, we've
just
had
some that
some
are just
people that you just can't please. It's never good enough, or they feel like they paid a lot of money and they should have had a better
they feel like they're entitled
job,
or something.
but there's just those people that you can't ever satisfy. And
Yeah.
that's everybody in their life that
Absolutely.
insatiable people.
Yeah.
Come in and have. Recently, this lady, she went to Zach first, and then she comes in one day and she's all upset. I think he ripped me off. He's just out to get my money. And like, no, 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 no. Like we're not about that, dude. We don't treat people like that. And he hadn't finished what he had started yet, and like, hey, give him a chance, and then he finished it up. She booked some appointments with me after that, and I talked to Zach about it because I can just she's sitting over here in my booth now one day, and he's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is her thing. She came in, she was, I'm just gonna come to me. Like, that's fine. I don't want to deal with the craziness anymore. And then she did the same thing to me. She just like blew up, and I just think she's kind of bipolar or whatever. Like she's got some issues.
What was her issue with you? Like you weren't doing a good enough
Just
job for her?
She just, like I did my best, and she walked away, happier than hell. She's like, oh yeah, that's what I really wanted. I like it. I like it a lot.
And
And
then
worked with
later
her,
changed her
like,
tune?
and then texted me this long. I'm just so upset. I feel you're out here ripping me off, and I'm like, no, dude. And then breaking up with you. Don't even come back. I didn't tell her that, but in a professional way, I kind of let her down. sorry you feel that way. I did my best, and maybe I'm not your artist.
Yeah, maybe you should
You have
check
to
out
go
another
find someone
studio.
else. And I didn't say you're a effing bitch or
Yeah.
I didn't cuss her out or anything. I felt offended in a little way because I did my best. That's my worst nightmare. Somebody that's not satisfied with something I permanently put on their body.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, you're changing the way that person looks at themselves in the mirror. There was one lady
It
that
is
had,
a lot.
scars cutting. She's scarred her arm up over the years, and she wasn't, of course, no one's proud of that.
Yeah.
And they want to cover. I covered it up, and she's like, "Man, every time I walk by the mirror, I almost cry because I'm so happy that I don't I don't have to see that anymore." And I'm like, "That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's that right there is doing good for people, man, and doing the right thing." And it made me kind of tear up, dude. I was like, "Oh my God, really?" She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh man, you don't know how good it feels to make somebody look at themselves in a better light." You know what I'm saying? And like she had a bad going, she was an addict when, like hit rock bottom, and came back and getting sleeves and stuff now, it totally changed her life. And she almost died like 7, 8 times, she told me like
Overdose. And
been treated like you never even, she didn't even, like you don't even want to talk about that kind of shit, it's so bad. But then coming back and, helping someone like that change the way that makes them a better person than how they conduct themselves. And I have all these great tattoos now. I like, well, I'm better than that person that I used to be, that person that was doing drugs and ripping people off. And
do you still work on her
I did.
regularly?
Hmm.
Next time
I
you
have a
work,
few clients like that.
next time you work on that specific girl that you were just talking
Hmm.
about, ask her if she would like to sit down and have a conversation.
Oh,
If
yeah.
she would,
Yeah.
please give her my number.
I have
That's exactly
a
the
good
type of
friend of
person
mine that
I want to talk
owns
to.
owns several sober living houses that could, she has all the stories. Yeah.
Well, I mean that specific woman, that story you just
Hmm.
told, like that's exactly the type of person that I would like to sit across from and have a conversation.
Yeah,
So next time you work on her, just ask if she'd be interested. And
I will.
if so, just give her my number if you don't
Okay,
mind.
totally.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I help her out.
Yeah. I always need a guest, and I like talking to regular people, man. There's plenty of podcasts out there that talk to celebrities.
Yeah,
There's plenty of that, which is fantastic to listen to, and I enjoy listening to them and whatnot. But I like talking to regular people. You get a more
yeah.
sense.
That's what's cool about my job is I get therapy every day. I get to vent about the world and get my stories out and get that off my back. It makes me happy. I mean, same with them.
Yeah,
You sitting with someone for a few hours, it's like therapy, man.
yeah.
Or it's just therapy. You get to rest and not say shit. Some of my clients I don't talk to at all, except for, "Hey, how you doing?
Sit
Have a
down, let's get
seat."
to work.
I start tattooing and like, then they get up and how much is it going to be today? And I tell them and then I thanks and see you next time.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's like this talking the whole time,
That's what
cracking up,
me and Matt do.
laughing,
We're
joke.
we're in the chair, you know.
And I think that's more the attraction really than the actual art is just getting to experience.
That's part of the yeah.
I think that's actually more of it than, the attention you get on the street.
Yeah.
I have clients that like maybe an attractive woman and have really good tattoos and they get more attention than they want because they're also attractive person. Like, oh, there's an icebreaker. I can talk to her about her tattoos. I like your tattoos, girl. All right. What's your number, or whatever. Some of them people, she doesn't like that kind of attention, because you're like, damn, my tattoos are a burden. You guys did too good. It's like, really? It's like, I get it though.
Yeah.
But some people like the attention, and that's cool. They come back, I can't go anywhere without anyone stopping me and saying how good of a work you did. That's also better than the money. Like it's more of a reward. Like I did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm doing the right thing. Like keeps you going.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact when people recognize my tattoos and point them out and be like, "Hey, man, that's really good work." Or like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." But I've noticed over the years that most people who acknowledge your tattoos, if they're not a kiosk person in the mall trying to sell you something, most of the time they really want to tell you about their tattoo that they
Yeah,
have.
that's awesome.
You know, they say, "Hey, your tattoo's cool. Check out what I
Yeah,
got."
look
Like,
what I got.
I didn't ask
Yeah,
you what you
yeah.
had, man.
That's the burden of it.
Yeah, it is. It is a burden. It is.
You
a
don't even
burden
have to have
bear.
a good one.
Hey, man, that
like,
tattoo's cool. Hey, check this out.
Yeah. Let me tell you about mine and my experience.
Didn't ask.
But that's cool. And on my side is those people. I mean, I don't know, kind of annoying, I guess, and it comes to bothering you in public. But to me, it's kind of like they really like their stuff and they want to show it. Like if it was my tattoo,
No, I mean,
my client's like,
I'm
cool
glad.
tattoos. Look at mine. Like, cool. They really like it. Like I like that.
I'm glad that they
I
like
see
it,
why it's annoying.
but they're really acknowledging yours just so they can talk about theirs. But that's a lot of people just in conversation anyway.
Yeah.
They might ask you a question, but it's really because they want to talk about
Right.
whatever.
What they got.
Exactly.
Either a burden or could be cool. Like you might see something like, oh wow, it's really good. Who did that? And
Don't get me wrong. Like I see people's tattoos all the time, like especially waiting tables, and I'll stop by a random table and be like, "Hey man, I really like your tattoo." Just wanted to. But I don't then go, "Hey, check out my
Yeah.
weed leaf that I have on my
Yeah.
arm." I just
I
say,
like
"Hey,
that.
here, I like your tattoo," and then I move on.
Right.
Yeah, like your tattoos look cool.
You don't want
Hey,
to hold
thanks, man.
anybody up. They got things
Yeah.
going on. They're having a nice dinner,
Yeah.
or they're shopping at Walmart. Like,
Just
man, I got a
acknowledge
ton of things to do today. I don't need to give you. I don't have 5 minutes to talk to you about that, too.
Just acknowledge that you like my tattoos. I'll be like, "Hey,
Yeah,
you got some
cool,
nice
man.
work too."
All
See
right,
ya.
thanks. Paid a lot for these.
Yeah,
I really like them too.
that's why I got them.
Yeah.
What's the most painful spot you've been tattooed?
That I've been tattooed.
I know it's different for everybody. Everybody's pain tolerance is different.
If you look at me and the shorts on, like right now, like today, it looks like I'm fully covered, but I have no torso tattoos. But for me, my most painful spot was my kneecap and my Achilles tendon.
Ooh, Achilles tendon.
I know that your back and your ribs and your chest and stomach, your torso is probably the worst spot to get tattooed.
My back has not been that bad.
You just have your shoulders or
Well, on the right half of my back, I have different states and flags going down, and they're just small pieces. They haven't really been intertwined together at all. But those didn't really hurt that much. But you have a lot of muscle on the back.
Yeah, I think it's just certain parts.
We'll see what
Like even on your arm, say, because this is, you could say it's the easiest spot to get tattooed. You have your arm tattooed, but there's spots,
Oh yeah, like
and
the pit hurt.
your wrist,
Around the wrist is where
bone, the elbow.
the most painful spot I've been tattooed is this area right around the wrist, all the way around. That hurt so bad. So
in
bad.
your armpit, the top of your shoulder, just mainly where your bones and tendons come.
Oh, that feels so weird. That's why this is not done.
And you know what? That's probably easier than the rest that you've already got.
In here, right in here, that
And it all depends on the artist doing it too. Like
True.
there's heavy-handed guys,
artists,
light-handed guys,
for sure.
That's
What's weirdest to me is like, especially in this area right here, whenever he was doing it, he would hit spots that tickled and then spots that hurt.
Yeah,
like it hurt and then it tickled.
Like I don't know how I'm gonna deal. It's a mental thing. You're like, oh, this is annoying. It's tickling me. Oh my god, it hurts now. Like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't want that. Either way, But you're committed because if you can't stop.
Well, you can't.
You got to get it done.
And I think I don't know if you do this, but Matt, every time he's about to start, he goes, "Okay, here we go." Right when he's about to start for the first time, like there's no stopping after this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No return. I do that too. You ready? Okay, let's go. Here we go again. if it's somebody I've been tattooing. Here we go again.
Have you
Usually
ever
what I say.
have you ever had anybody quit? Like,
Uh,
have you ever had anybody
Back
be
in
like,
the
all right, that's too
day,
much. I don't want this anymore.
back in the day. Oh well, like put the stencil on and like say, "Oh, I'm
No,
done."
no, 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 no.
I
Like
wanna
you
get it.
actually literally start working on the tattoo, and then at
And then
some
like
point
do like
they
one or two lines and then
and
walk away.
yeah. You ever had
No,
anybody like, this is not what I want anymore. I've decided
I
that
mean,
I'll just take these 2 lines and that's it.
not anything that you couldn't. I've never. No one's ever stopped before a good stopping point. You know what I'm saying? To where okay, you got the outline done. You're never gonna see me again.
Okay.
I don't remember that because I never seen him again.
Okay.
Maybe if they showed, hey, remember me? If you did this back in 2001, like, oh yeah, why didn't you get it finished? Like, because it's all the lines are all blown out. You didn't know what you're doing, like because back then I didn't. I was underground for 6 years. I didn't. It wasn't legal till 2006.
Yeah.
So I had to I was self-taught. At the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. Like I said, I wasn't a good artist either. I mean, I was all right. People knew I could draw and I was passionate about art, but I wasn't painting or anything like that yet. It was just all sketching. Like basically, the reason why I got into tattooing is punk rock and marijuana, because my buddy that I met, I was drawing for their band, and he was selling weed, and he bought a tattoo kit, and he's like, "Let's do tattoos above the jam room in the attic." Which was a room converted into a room that we tore all the carpet out, put tile in there and shop lights, brighten up the place, repainted it.
Uh-huh.
That's where I started.
So somebody else's tattoo kit?
Well,
Like
no, we bought it
somebody
out of the
had bought
back of
one?
well, Sean, he bought it out of the back. We bought it out of the back of like a Flash magazine or
Uh-huh.
tattoo magazine.
Yeah.
Ordered a kit and they sent it. Like, wow, they really sent it to somewhere where it's illegal and we don't have licenses or anything. And I mean, it was a wild west back then, dude. Like it kind of still is if you think about it.
What do you
Like
mean?
tattooing's regulated, but it's just kind of like just you have cordless machines and you see people like doing tattoos out in the car and
Have you really?
airplane and out in the park, and I'm like, dude, that's not how it's supposed to be done. Like I'm not for that at all. I don't think it's shock value. I'm not into that shit.
No, you're pretty intense with your
I'm like, I just want to do it right, do it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
that's
I'm all
what I'm
about
saying. Like
do it the right way.
I've seen you set up your booth before, and you're pretty detailed on how clean it is and sterile and everything.
Yeah, trying to protect everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can get
Everyone
some
has
shitty
AIDS.
fucking diseases, bro.
Everyone has AIDS, man. That's how you have to think about it.
You can
Everyone,
get some shitty diseases through
yeah, you don't
needles.
know
Yeah.
what that person did the night before.
Plus, you don't. I mean,
Had sex with a hooker, whatever.
well, that's what I'm saying. Even on that form that you fill out, like you don't know if
Yeah,
somebody's
no one.
lying to
Yeah,
you or not.
you got AIDS? Oh no.
No.
You might not know yet,
Yeah.
or hepatitis or whatever. Like you don't want any of that shit.
Yeah.
So everyone has AIDS.
It's a good way to think about it.
Set up with my gloves on or break down with my gloves on. Try to use, like clean hand, dirty hand. There's techniques, and that's another thing about like the first year of apprenticeship is that kind of stuff. You need to
Learning
learn
the cleanliness
the
of the.
aseptic, way to do things the right way, so you're not spreading disease. Hurting people. You're already hurting by poking a needle in your skin like a million times.
That's what they're paying for.
Yeah, they're paying you to hurt them. They know that already.
How do you describe tattoos to people? Like, have you ever had
Like
that
the
question?
pain of it. Like what does it feel like?
I've always described it as, how when you first burn yourself, like you'll burn yourself and then remove your finger or whatever it is from
Mhm.
that, and then that feeling that you have on that burn spot, that tightness of the skin. That's how I describe it to people. Like
I'd
I'm
say like a
that's
constant cat scratch. It's just kind of annoying. It's a slow burn.
okay.
Like at first you're
That's a
like,
good
oh, this ain't bad. and then you're out into an hour, like, oh, it's starting to hurt.
Yeah.
Then you go for about 3 hours, and it's like, dude, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really kind of it. Also, with like people that do 8 hour sessions or back to back days, that's conditioning. You know, like you need to be conditioned, the client. You know, to like, hey, you're gonna eat. We're gonna take a break. You're gonna eat. You're gonna slam some Pedialyte, get your electrolytes and stuff back up, or Gatorade, whatever. Like the next day, that's convention style, you know, like that dude's only going to be in town for 2 days and you want a big thigh piece from him. It's going to take 12 hours. You can't sit for 12 hours in one day. You got to do 6 and 6, you know. And so
Even
allows
that
me, you know, if
6.
we get worn down, we're not machines.
Yeah.
We can't work for 12 hours on a tattoo.
Sitting there.
That's a lot of brain work, dude. Like you're using a lot of juice up there. I've done 10 and a half hours, you know, and
Was that at a
takes it out.
convention?
Yeah. Done 10 and a half hours on something before in one day.
Jesus,
I'm like, dude, I'll never do that again. You're gonna have to come to me, man. I'm sitting over here in
I don't
Tulsa and 39th.
I don't like more than 3. Like I only ever schedule 3 hours
And that's mostly what
because like
people can handle.
at about the 2, like you said, like at 2 hours, I'm like, it's fucking annoying, you know.
It's a
like,
wound. You're wounding somebody.
Yeah.
And it's a slow burn. You're depleting them of all their electrolytes and endorphins and all that. And you know, after 3 hours, you're starving, you're tired. Just go home and take an ibuprofen, eat, go to sleep.
wash it.
Yeah. If you don't, usually put the second skin over.
I just use
my
that.
clients. So they get to go home and just relax.
Yeah.
And then for 3 days, they're not gonna mess with it. It's great.
The second skin, that's that seal that you put over it, that you wrap over it, and you literally leave it on for 3 days.
3 days.
Right. First time I had seen that was like a month ago. A friend came over to do a podcast, and we ended up not doing it because I had issues. But he had just gotten a tattoo, and he had that second skin. That was the first time I had seen it, and he was like, "Yeah, after 3 days, you pull it off, and it's almost completely healed already."
To that stage where it's peeling, like flaking,
Yeah.
itchy. That's pretty much it. Like the first 3 days is the most crucial. That's when it's open. And so you have to put the ointment on there to keep infection from setting in. And sticks to your clothes, your sheets, you seep in plasma for a couple days. It's just way better, I think. Do it that way. People don't have to mess with it.
That's a
Plus,
good
it
idea.
locks the ink in. You have a lot of color work, and I'm sure, like you remember, when it's healing it, you see them little, I call them fruity pebbles. They kind of flake out. They're little flakes of color.
I never really paid that much attention to it.
But that's the ink that you're putting in, flaking out. But if you use that stuff, that doesn't
Seals it a little bit.
Yeah, it locks it in. So if you're doing a cover up or something like that, that's the way to heal it because it locks all that ink in.
Yeah.
It doesn't flake out and then, look faded. I'd say like 10 to 15% of the ink that they put in flakes out while it's healing if you don't do it that way. Like if you do it the old school way, you wrap it with and put ointment. And that could be differs between people. Everyone's chemistry is different. Their bodies are different. They hold ink better than the next guy. You drink water all the time.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna have better skin.
Do you eat healthier?
Right.
Yeah.
Than the next guy that's an alcoholic that's like dried up.
Yeah. That's what my tattoos are usually completely healed up within like a week and a half. But I also eat healthy and I drink lots of water and I eat fruits and I'm healthier now. In my 20s, when I wasn't doing proper shit, it would take 2 or 3 weeks for my tattoos to heal up because my body didn't have the power to.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Do those pieces of second skin, do they come in like huge pieces? Or do you have to
you can
use
get
like
them in rolls, you
if
can
you're
get them in
using-
sheets.
if
We
you're
sell
doing like a
them.
back piece, like do you have enough to cover the entire back?
I
with it?
usually do like patches, like patch, like on a big piece. It's easier to wrap that way because your body's not flat. So if you slap a piece on there, one big piece, you got wrinkles on the sides and all over and like little bubbles and stuff. And
Yeah.
you really, I mean, you
You want it to
really
be
want
as
the
sealed
wrinkles.
as
The bubbles are fine. It's the wrinkles that like let
Air in.
it lets bacteria in because
Okay.
that stuff allows oxygen molecules to pass through the barrier,
Okay.
but not bacteria. So your skin's still breathing and it's healing itself, but if you have a wrinkle, like bacteria can get in there. Or if it starts leaking out of there, then there's a way for bacteria. You got a petri dish going on, like it's just start getting a bad infection in there. So when you lay it down in patches, you can get the edges smoother, instead of a big piece. You
Better
just cut up
seal.
a bunch of little ones. And it's a pain in the ass to get off.
Is it really? Doesn't just dissolve?
No, you have to take it off in the shower, like let the water run over it, warm water for a couple
Yeah.
minutes, and then kind of like a 3M, pull it up and out, let the water run in, kind of pushes it away from the tattoo. Anyways,
We'll use that stuff whenever you do my back.
Okay.
Do you remember me telling you about that?
Mm-hmm.
The bear?
There, yep,
The left side.
sweet.
It'd be cool.
Matt,
But well, Matt's got to finish this first, though.
yeah, you gotta save up enough.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm actually coming. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Sweet.
To see Matt. So he's working some more on the dragon. So trying to get it finished so then I can work on other pieces. This has been 20 years in the. It's time for it to be done.
Yeah, I agree, Bob.
Yeah, Bob Smith.
Oh, are you out there listening?
If you are, there you go. He so the day that he said that he would finish my tattoo, was he was like, "Hey man, will you go pick up my needles at the post office for me?"
At the post office?
I think he had a mail to him or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he needed his needles picked up. So I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll go pick up your needles. It's only like $100 or something for it, as opposed to the 350 I'd still be paying you to finish my tattoo." So in my mind, early 20-something-year-old kid, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll go do that for you." Went and got his needles. All right, man. I'll call you about an appointment later. Never heard from him again.
Really? You went and bought his needles?
I went and picked up his needles for him.
Did he even
brought-
pay you for them?
No, because that's what I was
That
paying
was
for his
your
needles,
payment? Oh,
and then that was the payment for the rest of my tattoo.
oh,
And me being a young naive kid, be like, "Yeah, man," because that was like
you were thinking you were gonna go pick up the needles and get tattooed that
Yeah.
day, and he was all like, "Thanks, bro. See you later. I'm watching a movie."
Yeah. I don't even remember what it was that I didn't even get tattooed that day. Or maybe that was one of the sessions and he did that session and then we never talked again. I don't remember what it was. But that was the deal, was I'd go pick up his needles for him and then, he'd finish my tattoo and then I never heard from him again.
We have some friends that used to get tattooed by him, and they're always like picking up on the stuff he would go buy, like TVs and DVDs and all this crap, fancy stuff, and then he'd have to sell it to pay his bills. But they were over there at the other end, like, "Hey, I'll buy that off you for this amount, for cheap, so you can give them, so
Get a deal on it.
yeah, good friends of ours that used to get tattooed by him back in the day.
Oh.
Too. They kind of turned it around. They're like, "I'm sick of getting screwed over, so I'm just gonna."
Screw you over. Yeah. That's smart of them, man. I
Yeah.
wish I would have been that smart back then, but I wasn't.
You're covering up his stuff
Yeah. 20 years later.
on them.
Are you really?
Yeah, he did a whole sleeve, flower sleeve.
Man, I honestly can't believe he still works in this city.
He doesn't. I mean, I don't think he works in a shop anyway.
I know.
He works in a house or whatever.
Last I heard, he was still just doing it out of his house. But from what I understood, is that he was still getting clients somehow, and I'm sure it's just people who have no idea who it is or are not aware of him in the tattoo world.
Just shit bags,
Well-
they don't want to pay.
Yeah. I'm sure he has cheap
Dude, it's
prices.
better down the street for cheaper. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why you're here then.
Yeah.
if he's gonna do it cheaper and and that's what you're about, then why are you even at my shop?
Right.
Man, just go get it, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Dude, you should totally do that, I'll see you later then. A couple of years, a few years later down the road when you grow up and uh, you know, become an adult and want better tattoos and realize like that's the price you pay.
See, that was,
That for the price you didn't pay.
that was my whole thing. Is like I always looked for quality, and unfortunately, my young self thought that Bob Smith was quality, but it wasn't. But but then I found you guys,
Yeah.
so I'm good now. I'm in good hands.
How do we meet? Like, did you meet through
I met you first.
Mike's
You
or something?
No, I met you first. You did a half sleeve on my ex-girlfriend Audra. You did a bunch of different flowers on her
Okay.
arm, and they were absolutely beautiful flowers, man. One of the best flower tattoos I've seen. But I was getting this um, finished by who drew
Curtis.
Curtis.
Mhm.
Curtis was finishing this, and she was getting that done, and that's when I originally met you.
Okay.
In Cannibal, and then just throughout the years, we just got to know each other better.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Remember you worked at Looney Bin for a while,
Oh, I worked at the Looney Bin for a long time.
and then I think we've probably seen each other at Mike's and stuff
Oh, I'm
all
sure.
the time.
I'm sure.
It's right there. That's where we went when we worked at Cannibal. We'd
Yeah,
go over there
down
and
the street.
get duped. Come in and be like 17 people. Hey, tattoos, because I knew everybody that went there. That's like all the people I went to school with would go to that bar. And I did pick up some business, but it'd
Most
be
of those people
annoying as
free
shit. Well, they just want to tell you about all their ideas, and I'm like, dude, I just got off work.
Right.
Like it's like
I wanna
11
have a
o'clock.
beer.
They've been there since like happy hour started, and I'm like, you're wasted. You want to sit here and like, I mean, literally, I couldn't get to the bar and get a drink before like three people
Let me tell you about this
hit me
idea I
up.
had.
Yeah, I got all these ideas, bro. I heard you do tattoos, and I'm like, yeah, man, here's my card. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Call
Like,
me in
oh,
business hours.
you work on cars? Like, I have my check engine lights on. Like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to bring it to the shop. I'm like, same thing, Like, I'll more than happily talk to you about tattoos when you're not drunk, you know.
Does it baffle you that people don't understand that, or is that just something you kind of got used to over the years?
It doesn't baffle me. It's just that they don't understand that you catch that kind of shit all the time. It's like there's a time and a place to talk about business. That's what I do for a living. That's what I've been doing all day. I come here to like unwind, have some drinks, have some conversation with you. Even like talk about how's your mom and dad doing, whatever. How's your family? What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like everything, but all your ideas and everything. It's just like I'm not going to remember this. I just got off work and I'm trying to unwind. I'm not trying to like.
About to have 5 shots.
I'm not trying
Yeah.
to like put things in my memory right now. Like put like all your ideas back over because I'm not going to remember that. Like come see me if you're serious. We'll book some appointments, and I'll have all that shit written down, and I'll remember it a couple days before you come in, and I'll have your design ready. Like that's kind of it. You don't really. I don't know what I'm doing from day to day sometimes, dude. I'll look at my schedule in the beginning of the week and be like, okay, I'm gonna have to draw something this week, or or I won't. So set up for whoever it is. Do that like work in progress. That's a lot of times. It's a work in progress. I got sleeves and back pieces. I do a lot of
What's
larger projects.
I would say majority, I'm sure, is larger projects that you have multiple sessions on.
Hmm.
You know,
You just
like
get to that point.
I'm sure most people can't do more than 2 or 3 hours sessions. Like you said, there's not a lot of people that can sit for 6, 7, 8 hours.
Right. Younger people can.
Yeah.
And if they're committed, like I see it like it's uh, the people that don't have tattoos, that don't know what to expect, the younger ones can sit forever. Like, yeah, I really want this ever since I was 10. Like my son, he did 6.5 hours on his chest and did a whole owl in one sitting.
Oh,
You know, like we're doing this for free, so I'm gonna try and get it done in one day. You know, if you can handle it, and he did. He did fine.
somebody, the wind is blowing or something. Well, the CrossFitters. He's gonna run that
Got their weights.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this opportunity to pee real quick.
Okay.
Tell people your shop name, your shop number, your address. Just so if anybody wants to call you.
Mind Bender Tattoo. 405 600 6201 39th and Tulsa Avenue. What are you doing, girl? I'm petting that dog. There he comes again.
It's okay. Sam. It's all right, buddy. There you go. He's gone. He's run by. He protected us.
Great job, man.
Yeah. Done the job
Sure,
of a
if he
pit
would
bull.
have tried to come in, you would have licked him.
Probably. Good thing he doesn't have a vacuum cleaner. Oh.
Well, anyway,
What made you I don't know how much in detail you would want to get in this. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. What made you branch off from where you were to open your own spot?
from like Cannibal or
From because you were partners in Cannibal, and then you left that, and then you opened up Mindbender with Carissa, right? Or
Carissa and Josh.
Carissa and Josh.
Yes.
Okay, I
So
didn't
all
know.
three of us are.
Okay,
My
okay,
wife and Josh. Are
okay. And then
But
you and
where I
Josh
started,
working together at Cannibal.
we worked together. We started together at Undisputed before we opened Cannibal Graphics. I'll start from the beginning where after I started or left the house, like basically I was given an ultimatum by the union I worked for. It's Heat and Frost Insulators Union, Local 94, I think. Anyways, I was fucking up and they gave me the ultimatum like, hey, you want to either do tattoos or, this. So I quit my job. I was like, I'm 2 weeks booked out, man. I'll be fine. And then, all my appointments consolidated and I could do tattoos all day long. And then nothing after that.
Your 2 weeks went to like 3 days.
Yeah, my 2 weeks went to like nothing, basically, because I didn't realize that people didn't come that often, and I'm working out of the house. So people aren't going to come knocking at my door like, hey, you do tattoos, It was all word of mouth. And then, but this guy called Chris Brady. He's like, hey, I'm opening a shop called First Amendment and senior work on the street. You want to come work with us? I'm like, I'll see you in 10 minutes. My thing, like, where's the shop at? He's like, it's not actually open yet. And I'm like, I can help you with that. I do construction. So went and worked there for a while, opened up a couple shops with him. Like, basically, he had 4 shops before he sold them off and like quit. He got out of it. But I helped him open 3 of them. Like, I built 2 of them actually. The first one I helped a little bit to open, and then the other next 2 I laid tile, built desks, did all, helped them open it up.
Okay.
And then, which was good experience for me, being, going from that to opening my own business, my own shop. But in the midst of being arrested for tattooing and The second time I got arrested, my lawyer didn't tell me my court date was, so I missed my court date. I had a bench warrant, and the Sunday after I was supposed to be in court, I was on the front page of the Sunday Oklahoma, and it said, the headline said, "Needling the state." I'm not going to go into how that all went down, like how I got the story and all that, but I thought it was just like I was going to be in the paper, a story about tattooing with several other artists. That's what the journalist told me.
Yeah.
But it was mainly just me talking about tattooing.
Okay.
And I wasn't like hating on the state or anything like that. But if you put in perspective, those like the cops were looking for me the Monday after that came out.
Yeah.
And so I was hiding out at my buddy DJ's shop like all day long because I couldn't be at home.
Yeah.
They're looking for me, or there. So what happened was DJ's like, why don't you just come work with us? Because we're your friends and we're better artists than what works, what you working with now.
Okay.
And I can't say that those other guys aren't good now. I wasn't even good then, but uh, my friend DJ let me come work with him, and I was like, just made more sense. So I took all my stuff. Like at 3 in the morning, went over there and grabbed my shit. Went, I was working at them just for it was actually OKC tattoos. And then DJ opened his own shop, Undisputed. And then that's when Josh and I started working together. And when we went to open Undisputed, DJ already knew that Curtis and I were thinking about opening our own shop. So he basically let me work there, me and Josh, until we opened Campbell. And Josh was also a owner of Campbell Graphics.
Okay.
So DJ already knew like what was going down. And that's when we opened Cannibal. And then we parted ways after 7 years, Curtis and Josh and I. Josh and I went over to Mindbender. Curtis stayed at Cannibal. And we're at 10 years later. Mindbender's been there 10 years. But
yeah.
Since 2013.
Yeah.
20, almost 11 or 11 years.
It's a nice shop too, man.
Thanks, dude.
Nice shop. It's a good spot for you guys.
It's a great spot. And it's crazy how it came to be. Like, we've seen another spot over on 50th in Portland. I don't know if you remember. Do you know that area, like where the heart or the blood center is?
Yeah.
In that strip mall right there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Coits Center.
Yeah, the Coits
Center.
Yeah, over by the
Right
Ride Pie
across from
place.
that mechanic shop and the store club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. On the other north end of there.
Mhm.
Well, back in the day, there used to be a pawn shop back in there, and it was huge. And that was the empty shell. Whenever I was looking for a spot for mine.
Part of that strip in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like so and so's or something. It's like a bunch of needle like sewing crap and all that now. Optical place over here, like a bunch of where like the old lady shop or old people go, and like that whole area. But that was available, and it was like 4,000 or no, it was about 4,000 square foot, huge shop, and it was like only 2,000 a month for rent. I was like, perfect. Need to fit 10 booths in here, man, and we're not spinning our wheels because we've been looking for spots, and they're like a lot of people didn't want tattoo shops, but some people, the ones that did, was like half the size of our shop for the same amount of rent. And I'm like, we're gonna be spinning our wheels, man. Like the way we're gonna operate, we cater to the artists, we pay for a lot of the supplies. As a shop owner, we're not making a whole lot there. It's just about maintaining and staying afloat, have a nice cushion.
Okay.
You're not going to get rich off of owning a tattoo shop unless you're exploiting the artists, and then you have a high turnover. You don't want that. Anyways, back to where we found Mindbender spot. The guy denied me over there at Coits. We called him, hey, what do you, see you have a spot available? And he's like, what do you want to put there? I told him, well, we want to put a art gallery and tattoo shop. You know, I said art gallery first to kind of
Smooth it
convince them
over.
that we're not shitbags. You
Yeah.
know, like we're artists. You know, but he's like, nope, don't want it. Hung the phone up. I'm like, damn, dude. So we continued our search for a couple months, probably. And like, man, I'm just gonna go back out there and get the number and beg the dude to let us in there, you know. And that's when I went. We lived off 32nd in May at the time, and I was going down 36th, and I passed Portland on accident. It was like 8 in the morning. I wasn't really awake yet. I was gonna go get the number and come back home and call the guy. But I had to go back, you know, I turned down Tulsa to, you know, double back around to go to
50th.
50th.
Yeah.
And that's when I found the spot we're at.
So you just
Was
drove
available.
by it.
I
and
drove
it's
by
like,
it and I'm like, that's it. I turned in, got the number. I didn't even go get the other number. I went
No way.
home. Marissa called 7-Eleven, who's our landlord. And they're like, we'll be glad to have you all in there. Like, yeah, dude, perfect. So
nice.
yeah, it was a great spot. Like it just that's how it happened.
That's an awesome spot
Luck of the
too,
draw.
man.
It was, got lucky.
'Cause anytime I ever describe the location to you, everybody knows exactly where it's at.
It's right off the highway. It's
Everybody
off
knows
Route
exactly where
66,
it's at.
which is actually a highway.
Mhm.
It's a great location.
Yeah.
It's easy to get to. It's easy to find.
That's crazy how you just like, oh, I just missed
Stumbled
my
upon
turn.
it,
So
yeah. How it went down.
that's how everything good's ever like.
Yeah, it's
the-
like here's
the
this
great things that
opportunity,
happen
you
in
know,
life,
like
you know?
Karma says, here's this opportunity. You've been doing a good job in life, so
Yeah.
here's this.
Here, we'll take you this way.
Yeah. So
That's good that you reached out and you
Kick it.
grabbed that opportunity,
Yeah.
though, you know, because you could have just driven by it and gone and got that number, and he could have told you
Yep.
no again, and then you lost that spot you were at. You know,
yeah,
you never
some
know.
other asshole could have been like right behind me.
Exactly.
Bingo.
That's cool, man.
And it was both spots were available. You see, like when you go in our shop, there's 2 doors. One's always locked.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You have
Well,
plants
there's
in
2
front of you.
shells there, you know.
Okay.
Like there used to be a wall between them. We had to tear that down. Took over both spots.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was cool that both spots were available, not just one.
It's meant to be, man.
Because if it was just one, it wouldn't be good enough. It wouldn't have been big enough. We'd only been able to fit like 4 people and no gallery. That's what's cool about our shops. We do art shows twice a year, and
And
it
you're
draws
like
people in.
right when you go through those wooden double doors right there, you have that beautiful spot to display y'all's art.
Mhm. And all around.
Then you have your
too.
booths,
Yeah.
you know.
And then all around the shop, we got track lighting and the gallery. It's all that's for sale.
Yeah.
It's hanging up, and as long as it has a price tag, it's for
Yeah.
sale, man. It ain't just to be cool or for decoration. It's all for sale, you know. Pretty awesome, man.
I've been digging those um, glass pieces that you were doing, the
Oh,
curved
the bubble
ones. They
glasses.
say
Yeah.
that you were like, I just came across these pieces of glass because they don't make them like that anymore. Those
Right, the antique
Yeah.
convex glasses with the awesome old antique frames.
You were showing me one day, and you showed me the inside of it, and I went to touch it, and I was like, "Wait a second, don't touch that, because I don't want to mess. I didn't want to mess anything up." And you're like, "It's cool, man. You can touch it."
Yeah, looks like crap on the inside.
Yeah, on the inside, it just looks all smeared, but if you flip it over, it's a perfect picture. It's really cool. How you
I
did
got
them.
that idea from doing. I was doing a lot of one-shot paintings, and that's a certain type of paint, lead-based, like pinstriping paint. And then I did a shadow box with the glass. Like I was like, I can do like paint on glass. Like that's what they do with that stuff. You know, they paint on glass, like at your business or whatever. You see the window painting.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
done with one shot,
Okay.
like from the inside or whatever. I'm like, oh, I could do that in a shadow box, and it'll have like it'll look 3-dimensional, like a cartoon. What do they call them? Cell. You know, it looks like almost 3-dimensional, like lifted up and see the shadow behind it.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's where I got the idea. And then I'm like, man, I don't want to just do shadow box, and like seeing that convex glass, I'm like, do it on that.
It's really
That's where it
cool.
kind of started, and done quite a few of those, maybe like 10 or so
Yeah.
paintings like that. But one of a kind, can't make prints. So come on by
Yeah,
'em.
yeah. You just had an art show on
Yeah,
May the 4th be with you art show,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I remember you were working
Good.
on that Millennium Falcon coming out of the you had an
Oh, that broke.
an
Yeah.
old painting,
Yeah, it was like
right?
a paint over. Yeah, you
And
paint
then you
over
were
the old one.
painting over that. Did you ever finish that?
That one snapped in half on
No
that.
way.
Yeah. I was at home and I was trying to adjust my easel.
Uh-huh.
It was on the easel and the thing slid down the arm at the
Mhm.
top and just snapped it, just popped it out, snapped
Ah.
it. It was an old piece of like whatever board
Yeah.
they used in like
Yeah.
1920 or something.
That was cool though. I remember one day I came in.
It was gonna be
you were
cool,
working on it. Yeah.
but it snapped and everyone's like, do this, do that. I'm like,
No.
no, it's been telling me since the beginning that it didn't want to be done because whenever I put the stencil on it and then I tried to spray the fixative over it to lock in the stencil and you paint over it, it disappeared. So I had to put like white gesso on there where the Millennium Falcon and Chewbacca were going to be,
Hmm.
and then do the stencil again, then lock it in. Then I was painting it. I got done with Chewbacca and I was adjusting my thing to do the Millennium Falcon, and it slid down and like to the demons, man.
Yeah, that
Done.
piece wasn't meant to be.
And
What's that? It was cool
whoever
looking.
painted, whoever did the pastel piece underneath it was saying, "Yeah, you're not gonna trash my shit."
Is the cat in that kennel?
Cats and
The cat will take over his kennel every once in a while. I heard her meow when he tried to go in. And he won't. He won't push her out, man.
I'm getting a fight with a kitty.
Mm-mm. That cat will whoop his booty.
Sketched up, boy. You're tired though, aren't you? I'm big a nap.
Oh, he takes plenty of naps.
Oh. Yeah, you definitely have morning breath.
Oh, dude, someone speaking of bad breath, um, I don't know if it was you or if it was Matt that was telling me this, but somebody had a client that had extremely bad breath.
There's a few of those.
And they
Probably Matt's clients. He gets some scumbag.
I'm one of them.
No.
But they were telling me that for example, I think maybe they were working on like the left arm. So you know how you're sitting there tattooing, you're on there and you're up close to their arm. Well, I guess the person was talking to them right in their face
Mm-hmm.
and had extremely bad breath. And
Oh, it happens. That's when you start doing this. Clinton real good too. See.
it's getting in my eyes.
Yeah.
Do you ever
yeah, it burns your eyes.
have you ever had to tell somebody like, "Hey, man, can you talk that way?" Or like,
Yeah,
did you even mention that, or do
kinda like
you kind of?
you don't say it's because of their breath. It's just because it's like you're like right there.
Yeah,
You're in my bubble. I can hear you if you're talking. I mean, we're this far apart talking. Hopefully, the microphone can hear me. Like that far away, I can hear you.
yeah,
You can talk straight on. You don't have to be like.
right in my face.
I mean, even if you don't have bad breath, it's still you have some breath and it stinks somewhat. It's not. That's not how you talk to people, man.
Yeah.
They
Well,
can hear you.
and I mean, plus when I'm getting tattooed, I know sometimes I'm breathing a little heavy too, so I don't want to blow that in your face.
Yeah, there's people that don't understand that there's etiquette. That, like take a shower. Be clean when you come in. I don't want to smell your ass. We're gonna be sitting there for a while together. It's I take showers every day when I come in, so I
Right.
smell good for you. Like,
Just gotta
golden rule.
cramp in my leg.
Or potassium.
I do run a lot, so let's talk about etiquette in the tattoo shop. Oh fuck! Hang on 1 second. That one's a good one. It's that muscle. It happens a lot. My hamstring.
Etiquette in a tattoo shop. Well, I mean,
Well,
it
cleanliness,
is a tattoo
obviously.
shop. Yeah, there's
Cleanliness.
cleanliness.
etiquette.
That I mean, with
I'm
all that aside, the standard. Yes, you should have a clean shop, good customer
I'm-
service,
mean more etiquette customer.
customer wise.
what's- What's some etiquette customers like if they
treat
don't
people
really,
with respect,
Yeah.
man. Like because sometimes they come in and they treat you like you're a machine. Like, oh, you don't have time. Oh, it's gonna be this long. Oh, it's like expect that if you want a good artist, somebody that's been doing it a long time to do a good job. If you want a good tattoo, you have to wait a couple months, 3 months to get in. Usually, that's mine anyways. My schedule.
you stay
But-
pretty booked out.
It's just don't come in there telling us how to do our job. Like I watched Ink Master and I know what a good tattoo is supposed to look like.
Yeah,
Because the shit don't go down like Ink Master at a real shop. It's
yeah, that's for TV.
yeah, it's for TV, and it's it's enjoyable. I used to watch Ink Master religiously every week because I love tattooing.
Is that the one that Kat Von D was on? Was it Ink
No,
Master?
she was on
LA Ink.
LA Ink and Miami Ink.
Yeah.
And those were better shows, I think, than Ink Master because Ink Master is like a competition.
Oh,
And I don't
okay.
think that any art should be competitive because it's the beauty's in the eye that we have.
Goodness, did somebody walk up to the door? Hey, hey, hey. That's enough. Kids are riding bikes. Let's close these blinds. These kids are gonna go back and forth. Oh, look, there's really CrossFitter. Oh yeah, it's Memorial Weekend. Enough.
Yep.
Well, on Memorial Weekend,
But,
I think is when they do the Murph Challenge.
Oh, it's like a
Do you know Michael Murphy, the Navy SEAL that died?
yes. Yep.
Well, he used to be a big CrossFitter.
So they're having like a marathon triathlon type thing.
Yeah. Well, I have to double check it, but what the actual Murph challenge is you wear a weighted vest. I believe
Oh.
you do so many pull-ups, or you run a mile, you do so many push-ups, sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and then you run another mile or something like that. It's a pretty hard challenge to do. It's pretty hard.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. And
I could walk a mile.
they do it with a weighted vest on too. But
Oh,
we
yeah.
have a CrossFit gym just around us. So
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah,
they,
that's right.
they run up and down our street. That's
Oh.
But anyway,
Yeah, the etiquette. Where were they at?
treat people with respect. Let us do our jobs. Don't tell us how to do our jobs.
Was on our end.
Um, well, you were talking specifically about if you want good quality art, it's going to take time. I think.
Yeah, that.
Hey.
What was I at? Had a good one. Anyways,
I can't rewind, so. What should people expect price wise? I mean, I know you're not a flash.
like
You don't have flash art and everything. Y'all are custom
we
tattoo.
charge $140 an hour at our shop. It's across the board. Everybody is. I usually, if you're getting a lot of work, cut you a break. It's all about consistency.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting a sleeve done, and you're gonna come in every 2 weeks, I'll probably give you a break on the price because it's more about just making money every day, instead of doing one big tattoo a week or whatever.
Yeah. Consistently.
uh,
And tattoo artists do take tips, people.
we appreciate those. It shows that you appreciate it, and it's not like you have to tip 20%, like you should when someone's serving your food, but that's what servers depend on. They only make $2.15 an hour.
213.
213. Okay, sorry about that. 2 cents. There's my 2 cents on that. But tip your servers for sure. We don't really expect tips. So it shows that you appreciate what we did, and you don't have to give me 20% of $300 or $400. That's a lot more. Like $20, it's cool.
Yeah.
$10, whatever.
Buy my lunch.
Or buy me a T-shirt, from a band I like, or whatever. That's cool. But I don't expect that ever. I don't expect it.
Yeah.
I know I get paid good money to do it.
Yeah, $140 an hour.
I have clients that don't even never tip to me, and they've been coming to me for years, and I don't ever say anything to them because something's better than nothing. I will not piss anyone off by saying, "Where's my tip?" Because they have people have tip jars and stuff, and they're like in their booths, and I'm like, man, it's not to be expected.
Yeah.
When you're doing what you love to do, and you get paid good enough money, like I said earlier, people save up money to come and get tattooed by you for months, dude. So you have to respect that.
Yeah, like you said, it's their hard-earned money.
Yeah. And these days, man, and with inflation, and people don't have the money to get for extracurricular things, like tattoos and whatever.
Oh,
movies,
I guarantee you, if I had children, I probably wouldn't get tattooed the way I do. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I have clients like that. They dropped off, like, hey, I got my wife pregnant, or my girlfriend, and
Don't have
I'm
money
like,
to
well,
get
see you
tattooed.
whenever you have, see you in a few years,
Yeah.
dude. Take care of that kid.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
By
that's
all
the way life
means,
is.
that
should.
life comes before tattoos, man.
Exactly.
And that's the risk you take. But hopefully you have enough clients where you can pay your bills.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you're doing. Because I see it happening all the time. Like guys that are heavy hitters, man, and they're fucking broke. So
It happens.
hey, dude, well, you got to be really on it. It's a hustle game. It's not like it's their fault. It's just people drop off because they don't have the money. And
That's one thing
but it is a hustle game, dude. You got to be on it, man. You get a cancellation, you got to
gotta
get someone
fill that
else in
spot.
there, dude.
You were
And
talking
people
about that
appreciate that. Like I got a project I want to get done. I have the money for it, so let me know whenever you get an opening. And when you do, they appreciate that. So they are good about it. Like, hey, this dude is obligated to do what he needs to do for you. So go to him.
Do you have clients that you can call if you get a cancellation, be like, hey man, I got an open spot, a couple hours if you want to sit down and get tattooed?
I do.
Yeah.
I got lots of those people. But you got to keep a list of them, It's not easy to just remember, go back through your appointment book and be like, okay. And then there's the scheduling has to be like, if you have a project going on and they have to be healed by the time they can come in again. So you got to wait 2 to 3 weeks. And if that guy came in last week, you're not going to be able to get him in this week. And plus, they budget that, their appointments. They know I have to have this much amount of money every 3 weeks to go get tattooed.
Yeah.
Or every 3 months or once a month. Depends on what your financial stability is, And I know a lot of people, I got kids that work at Home Depot, young dudes that, I know you ain't making a lot of money there, dude. You're making probably like 10, 15 bucks an hour. And they're working your ass off, dude.
Yeah.
And it's working for the man sucks, man. I'll never go back to that. I feel so fortunate, I don't have to. I'm my own boss.
You have a great job, man.
Yeah, great.
You do. You get to do what you love every day. You get to be an artist.
I mean, if I was stuck with the insulators, I would have been running jobs and been financially stable, have, benefits and, health insurance and all that, but there's always someone breathing down your neck. Hey, this has to get done, or I'm your boss. It's nice to not have that. It's a lot of stress off my back.
So was that a motivating factor whenever you said the union kind of gave you an option of you want a tattoo
Oh
or you
yeah.
want to work with us? Was that kind of like a motivating factor? Like, I don't want to have a boss. I want to fucking
Yep.
do
That
this.
was great. That was probably the best thing about it is like I could be my own boss, dude. And I'm gonna make this work. I'm responsible for everything from here on out, how it goes, and the business part of it. Because you're running your own business. You are your business. You are, yourself. That's why I said earlier, you have to sell yourself. You have to be enthused about it. You can't be some little, mousy. I mean, I guess you can. There's some people I know that are very quiet and they do well, but you have to sell yourself, whatever way that is. And you'll see, like, it's weird how over the years, your clients that you have are a lot like you, have like almost the same personality as you do. I see it with all of our artists in our shop, like certain people, like they're consistent, like loyal clients are like that. Like Jessica, very quiet, you know, professional, whatever. All our clients are the ones that come back, they're kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Quiet people,
Reserved.
Yes.
So I've
So
met her a couple times. She's pretty
yeah,
quiet. Yeah. That's Zach's
so
girlfriend,
it's
right?
yeah, Zach's
Yeah.
girlfriend. And it's just kind of how it goes. And then you get people that you get your one timers, in and out. Those are usually just like testing the water, smaller stuff.
Yeah.
One piece, and then they're gone. You're not the guy for me. Whatever. I had one lady recently, kind of annoying, but she was upset that I didn't get done in time for her to go on like her summer vacation. So she went to someone else and got my work finished and then told me about it. I was like,
Told
oh,
you about it.
okay. I'm like, yeah, she's like, I was upset the day of her appointment. She didn't even give me a chance to finish it, to try and finish it before
Wait,
her
so
vacation.
you had started a piece on her, then you had a scheduled appointment. The day of that appointment comes along and she calls you and says, "Oh, I already got it finished."
Yeah. Text me, but same difference.
Because-
Notified me that, yeah.
Because you couldn't
She's like,
accommodate
hey,
her a week before.
I'm sorry to inform you, I'm not going to read the text exactly, but the gist of it is like, hey, I was disappointed that you weren't going to be able to finish this by the time I needed it finished to go on my cruise or whatever. And so I went somewhere else and had someone that could finish it in time to do that. Like, oh, okay. Like, hopefully they did a good job.
Yeah.
Because, that's forever. Your vacation is like 3 fucking days, a week or whatever, like even if it's a month long, it's like, I understand you wanted it done. It wasn't like it was like your wedding. You needed it done by your wedding because you're gonna take pictures and stuff, and it's gonna be on your wedding picture.
Yeah.
That's way different.
No, you're just going on a cruise and you want a little flash piece.
Want to be able to get in the water and stuff and have it healed by that. I understand.
Yeah. Still.
It's kind of like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Then again, it's like, I
You
don't really need to. That's not my. I'm not your artist then, because that's not the way I operate. So if you want that kind of work, if you want someone to rush it and get it done by the time you want it done, that's the person you go to.
Yeah.
But I feel that hopefully whoever it was did a good job. Like I said earlier, it's not my body. It's hers. It's her decision. I'm okay with that.
I think it would piss me off a little bit for them to, like, you didn't have to send me a message. You could just say, "Hey man, I'm not gonna make our appointment today. I need to cancel." Could have left all day.
Or you could have just ghosted me, man. Just didn't show, and I've been like, oh well. Kind of more of a kick in the balls, Say, But it didn't feel that way to me because I've dealt with that before, and I know like it's nothing you can do about it. So why get upset? Like when I told the other guys at the shop, they're like, "Man, what did you say? Did you cuss her out?" Like, no,
No, just
I didn't
have
say,
a
"Oh,
nice day.
okay, hopefully they did a good job." You know, that's kind of more of a slap back. You know,
Yeah,
like hopefully they did a good job.
yeah,
Like hopefully they did as good as I was gonna do, or tried as hard as I would have tried. You know,
yeah,
like think about that. That's forever. You know, that's for the rest of your life, not forever. No, it's forever.
yeah.
You're gonna have to look at yourself, look at that in the mirror, or look at that and be like, I should have just waited. Or
Waited for this dude to
what the
finish
guy
it.
finished that started it. Because maybe it looks like two different people did. Maybe they did a better job than I did.
Maybe
You
they did,
know?
but it's like you said, maybe it looks like
Like,
two
whoa,
different people did it,
yeah.
you know?
The two different looks like two different people did it, then you know, either way, vice versa. Whoever did a better job, you know, that part's gonna look better than the other guys.
Yeah,
And I know they didn't go through and touch up the stuff that it, you know, some lettering and stuff in there needed like a touch up, redone. 'Cause,
like
you
go
know,
back and
everything
reline
didn't
the things.
hold, yeah, or whatever. There's really nothing you can do about it
That's
after.
I think that's one of my favorite things about going to the same personals because, like, for example, when I see Matt on Wednesday, he'll have me take off my shirt and he'll look at my arm and see where he wants to work on and see
Mhm,
didn't take or I need to
mhm.
touch up that spot right there because that's what I was doing here.
Right.
In fact, last time we were working on this dragon, he goes, "Man, every time I look at this dragon, he's like, what were you doing there, Bob? What like for example, this claw right here. See these claws?
Yeah.
There's this one that sticks out further.
Well, he's a classy dragon. You know, stick
Yeah,
your
he's
finger
got like a
out.
little pinky
Stick
claw
your finger.
sticking out. And that's actually what he was like, "Man, do you want me to make that look like the body or the claw?" I was like, "Whatever, we'll just go with
It's just terrible design, man.
yeah, it was just the way he was like, what was he doing there? Where was he going with that? And Matt had to go through and remake the face, of the actual dragon. Like it originally had no nostrils. Yeah.
He has a
I
short snout too.
yeah, like it looks more like a face now. Before it just looked like crap. Ugh. If you're gonna be a tattoo artist, don't be a douchebag.
You
Please.
know, it's just,
That has nothing
you
to do with
know,
being an artist. That is just
it's
Bob
just, yeah,
Smith's
that's, you know,
personality.
that's just,
Like that's
it's in
Bob.
every trade, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
There's shitheads
You
everywhere,
have
dude. You know,
exactly.
I'm sure you work with some at your, wherever your job
Yeah, don't get me started.
is.
Dude, they found
I have to say that where I work, there isn't any people that I don't like. You know, everybody that I work
I
with,
work in the restaurant
and that's kind of the thing with our shop is we just don't let anyone come work there, even if they're good. You know, your personality, your attitude, everything, even your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, that comes into play because that affects who you are. Is you bringing that into the shop, you guys have some drama. You know, your man cheating on you, or your chick a whore. You know, like,
yeah,
that affects what you bring into work. You
absolutely,
know,
absolutely.
it's happened before in the past. So dudes were doing stuff, you know, like bringing their home life in. You know, it's like it sucks that they had to deal with that, and it wasn't who they are for real. You know, and then we had to let them go because of whatever their shitty attitude that they had. But
That's what I feel like it at y'all shop that you would kind of nip that in the butt pretty quick
we do.
when
You
like,
know, like
hey
when
man, you're
someone's
not going to be
screwing
a
up,
good fit here
right?
because they're renting the booth space, right?
Mhm.
And isn't that how same way
Yeah,
like barbers do it and everything?
yeah,
Like you rent the booth space.
right,
So it's not really like you're employing them and they
right.
can just kind of get out if you need them to.
Well, we can get rid of them for any reason because they're
It's
contractors. But
yeah,
like if they're employed and stuff, then it's a whole different bag of worms, or whatever you say,
yeah.
can of worms. So it's easier just to have contractors, like as far as like you don't have to carry workman's comp insurance if they're employed and all that crap, and then you're dealing with like if you fire somebody and then they get, apply for welfare or
Yeah.
not welfare, but unemployment.
Unemployment.
And you don't always, I don't know. It's just all that crap with that. It's like this
Contractor. Yeah.
And you
Much
don't like
easier.
the way you operate, get out, or you're treating people, you're dragging our name through the mud, see you later.
I think that would be the worst thing.
It is. And it happens, had artists that screw people over and hey man, talk to them and they're like, hey man, that's how I do it. And like,
That's not how we do it. Have a
so
good
I
day.
don't agree with that. So see it.
That's good that y'all do that. I mean, you keep
And we're
it
still
real.
friends with those people. We still
Yeah.
have good relationships with the people that used to work there. Although we wouldn't rehire some of them, it's just that we separate business from friendship, and they understand that from the day they walk in the door. It's like, listen, we run a tight ship. You can't be a grown up and act right, then you can't work here. I mean, is that too much to ask?
Yeah. No,
Act
it's
like a
not.
grown up and a professional, and treat people right. So, but people don't. You know. Some, you give. There's a guy that came by one time. We had 3 available booths, and the student is really good, like American traditional. He's like, I see you got some booths open. What's up, dude? I want to come work here. And I was like, well, why are you leaving the shop that you're working at now? What's the problem there? Oh, they want me to be there during the hours of operation and, like do walk-ins and stuff. And like, I've already done my time with that. I just come in when I have appointments. Like, okay, there's the first red flag. And then I asked him, you paint? Do you do other art, besides just tattooing? Because we do art shows twice a year. And it's not like you're obligated to be in the art show, but if you're going to be working here and you don't participate, you're probably not going to feel good about it. You're going to
Yeah.
feel like, I don't belong here because everybody else is involved in this stuff. So, and he said, I'll never pick up a paintbrush. Like, okay, you're probably not a good fit then.
Red flag number 2.
Yeah, just and that's not even really a red flag.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not you're probably not gonna feel welcome here
Yeah.
because everybody else is into doing that works here. And then on the other side, he's very arrogant. And, he had an attitude.
Yeah.
And some of the people we worked with him before and told the stories, about how he operates on a daily basis. I'm like, no, I can't put up with that. Sexist, like same stuff about him. We're bringing up all those old stereotypes that people think that's how we all are. We're all a bunch of pigs and criminals and stuff.
Yeah.
We're not like that. We're just normal people. We're actually most people that give a shit about tattooing are passionate about it these days. Not just about being cool and making a bunch of money and having orgies and stuff. It's like it's not about that at all. It ain't about the money. It's about
Oh,
the
you're
art, and
artists.
it's about making people happy, and it's about
I think that's what
conducting good business,
I think
treating
that-
people right.
I think that's what I love most about y'all shop is y'all are all artists. So, like,
I
feel
think that should be a prerequisite before you even get into this, that you can draw and that you're
Well,
passionate about art.
not just that you can draw, but that you're actual practicing artists on a regular basis. Because like I can come to any of you guys with an idea and be like, hey, this is what I see in my head, and then y'all can play with it and put your art spin on it. Like I much better than what I could ever do.
Right.
Put it down on a piece of paper, take it from my imagination and talk with you about it. And
That's also another thing about the customer side of it coming in and what to expect is that you're going in and you're asking a professional to do a job for you. Like this, I want drag, a Japanese style, whatever. And when you give the artist the idea to go with, and then you're trying to take the reins on it, like I'm in control of the design and all this stuff, and how are you going to do it? So you got to give that up, man.
Yeah, no,
You got to give
absolutely.
that and give in to the artists and let them do their thing because you're gonna have better results that way.
Absolutely.
Let them do their thing. Like, see the design, cool. You don't have to ask them like every aspect of what's going on because that throws a wrench in the gears up here. It's like, and then we're second guessing what we're doing in our head. Or like, we're trying to make you happy, but then your ideas are conflicting with mine and the way I was going to approach this and the way I was going to do. Like, you want blue eyes and you're lying or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Jesus didn't have blue eyes, whatever. Like, I look stupid, but in my opinion,
Yeah.
silly. Yeah.
But you're right though. You gotta let go of that. It's like when I went
Now let go of the controlling.
with Matt with this arm, I'm just like, hey, do whatever you kind of want
Make
to
it look
do.
better than
Make it
make me happy, please.
Like, yeah, I need you to finish this, but also do it the way you think, because I don't know what you need to add here. Like, for example, like the nostrils and shit.
Mhm,
I wouldn't have been able to see that.
mhm.
You guys can.
Right.
And you can see how to add that in there and make it better. And then me,
Like, you go to the doctor and he says you need Xanax for your issues. You need this is your I'm gonna prescribe you because you're depressed. And you're like, I think I'd rather take some Valium or some Loratab. Like a totally different prescription. It's the same principle. Listen to the professional.
yeah,
Do what they tell you to do, or just let them do what they know how to do. And you've seen the work I've put out. That's why you're here. So trust me. I've had people do that before. Like, this guy was lived in Kansas. He saw my work. He wanted to get some work done by me. He didn't wait long. I probably partially my fault. I didn't get back in touch with him in time, and he went to someone else in his little town in Kansas. And the dude screwed up the whole thing, and I had to redo it, and I made it better, and he was happy. But then after that, the rest of it, the background and all that, it was like every little part he was nitpicking and just like, damn, like, just let me do my thing. And I promise I don't want anything walking out the door that looks like crap. That's my
your
name
name is on it.
walking out the door.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do my best to make you happy, and let me compose the song because I'm the musician.
Yeah.
Like, you're just the person that wants to hear the song.
Yeah. Like
That's it.
you wrote down the lyrics for me. Now let me put
Yeah.
it together.
Or write a love
Yeah.
song for me. Okay. You don't even have to write the lyrics. It's like I have to compose the whole thing, start to end. That you just want a love song or a breaking up song or a country song, whatever, and I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then I compose it. That's the same thing as art. Like, I want a dragon. Okay, what kind of dragon? Medieval dragon or Japanese or anime, whatever. There's all different styles of dragons. Like, what kind do you want? This kind. All right, draw it up for you. You can't be there like that scale needs to be.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, dude, then I'm not your guy because I'm not gonna just beat down. You're taking the wind out of my sails, dude.
Yeah.
Immediately, when
I'm
you
sure
come
that
through the
would
door.
be stressing and frustrating for an artist. Like, do people do that like in the middle of you actually tattooing on them? Or like, hey man, I
No,
think
they're usually taking the reins right from the beginning.
yeah.
And you're doing your best to kind of to not blow up on them. Not just like take the drawing and crumble it up or rip it up and throw it in the trash while you're looking them right in the eyes and you're like, fuck you. But it's part of like why I feel like you have to put it into perspective. We get paid good money to do this. So sometimes you're gonna get someone that's gonna just be a ball buster, dude. And you're like, most of the time it's an easy going, easy day. We're having a good time doing what I love to do. But sometimes you just get that guy in there. It's just like tugging on your nuts the whole time. God, dude, really? Really? But those are few and far between. Most people aren't like that. Most
Yeah.
people aren't so self-centered that they want everything done the way they want it. And like people usually do want things done the way they want to,
Yeah.
but they are compromise.
Yeah.
Like you and I,
Most people who come to see you have
Yeah.
no idea how to do the art, so
right.
they're
And
already
they
have
understand,
that
like,
mindset.
you're the professional, dude. This is
Exactly.
what I want. I've seen your work. Go for it.
Yeah.
And then they appreciate it, and you do too. You're like, I can't believe you let me do that. Like I can't believe people like just let me do what I like on them. It's crazy. Like God, people are nuts, dude. Why would they want that? Let some dude. You get into deep psychological thinking about it. It's like it's a fantastic idea. Like it's really cool that people give you that much trust and
It is a
faith.
lot of trust, man.
'Cause like I said earlier, dude, you're looking at like changing the way that person looks at themselves, and the world, how the world looks at that person. Like like
People look at
you
me
get
different.
crappy work, dude.
People look at me different because I have these.
Yeah. And if
Like,
you have crappy work, it makes you look like a slug. Like
makes you look like trash, prison.
yeah, you might be the nicest guy in the world. I know tattoo artists that are faces are covered. They look like they just got out of the pen, dude. And they're the nicest guys. So it doesn't matter, of course, what you don't read a book by its cover, basically. But people do. People judge. You got some goons walking down a dark alley at you. You're gonna judge those guys. You're like, they're looking for trouble. And then you walk by and you're like, hey man, how's it going? You smoke some weed with me? Oh, they're really nice. Yeah, they're not goons.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine like when I'm out running, like especially during the summertime, because like I'm literally just wearing shorts, and on my front end of my shin it says "Don't be a bitch," and then I've got full sleeve tattoos, a few on my back, and I'm sitting here running up to somebody. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, good morning. How are you doing today?"
Mhm.
You know,
Oh,
"Oh, good morning."
oh.
You know,
hmm
I know I look like a criminal. I know what I look like. Like it's I think I sometimes overcompensate that with my personality because I already know what I look like,
hmm
I'm overly nice.
Well, I get like it's a different thing. Like Josh gets talked to all the time by people in public. I never get it about tattoos. I never get it. Like at the store, I'm walking around and people go up to Josh. And he's got a kind face or whatever. Like, oh, you do tattoos? And he's like, oh God, like
He does
here we
have a
go.
very boyish charm to him.
Then me, I have some scowl or something, like resting bitch face or something, and people just look at me and they're like, tattooed, big dude with
No,
bald headed man, like looks like he's had a shitty day. Like, I'm the nicest guy you'll ever run into, dude. I'll talk to you. I don't care. But I'm nice to people in the store. I smile at them. Everybody hates going shopping. I have to you make the best of it. You're at the store and there's assholes to elbows in there, man. It's going to be a hell of a time.
Mhm.
People cutting in front of you, grabbing shit off the shelf. It's got to be nice. I'm the better person because that dude's rude, So, yeah, ha ha ha. I'm a better person than you are because you're an asshole and just grabbing shit in front of me.
There's also benefits to looking like this too.
Yeah, you don't get talked to, or you don't, it's you're left alone. That's fine with
You
me.
don't get pushed around,
Right.
whatever.
hmm
Some people think you're more aggressive than you really are. Whatever the judgmental aspect that you were talking about.
Right. That's fine with me. Josh says it's my brow. I just kind of have
You do kind
don't
of have
mess with me. I'll look at you and we're like, oh,
you do kind of have that resting bitch face.
yeah.
Gotcha.
But that's not always the case. Don't judge a book by its cover, dude.
For sure.
There was a lady one time we're at a Chinese buffet back in the day, me and my kids, and they were young. I seen just a silhouette of her coming in, like the sun was coming in behind. I'm like, damn, what's up? She gets a little closer and she's covered with ICP tattoos. And I just like, nope. Yeah, I judged that lady. You know, she may be the nicest person, but her tattoos say I'm a tweaker. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm scuzzy or whatever. I'm like,
A little
she
juggalette.
might be a very nice professional lady now. You know, like who knows?
Most juggalos and juggalettes that I've met in my life are some pretty nice people.
I mean, you know, nice, but like to do drugs or yeah. You put the stereotype with the whole crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like us, like tattoo people or tattoo artists. We're all scumbag. Trying to, you know, the girl, 18-year-old cute girl comes in and want to get her tattoo on her wrist. All right, honey, take your shirt off. You know, like
Yeah.
we're not like that. Some there are some like that, but in every trade.
But like you said, there's assholes in every trade.
Yeah. Doctors, lawyers, they're all got shit bags.
Right. Well, Mr. Deneen, it's getting close to 1 o'clock.
All right.
I've got to go to work. So
Yeah, and my wife wants me back.
oh, that's
It's been awesome.
she's got some honey-do list for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You said you were doing a cooking.
And well,
That's right.
well, we're just having some game night. And
Oh.
friends over. Same.
Similar. Well, we'll end on this though. I've been ending on
Yeah.
this lately. What's something you've learned in life, man? How old are you now?
You know what I've learned? All the guys always were chasing the pussy. They're the alphas, guys.
Yes, they
Let
are.
things, you know, what I've learned over
Yeah.
treat people right, man. You know, like you're always live by the golden rule: treat everyone as you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Some people like to be treated like shit, I guess, because man, it's everywhere these days. I think it's terrible. I think that social, especially the younger crowd that thinks that it's all about that, you know. And then I think that social media is a facade. It's not real, man. It's not how people should treat each other. It's you can hide behind your screen and talk all the crap and be a bully, but 99% of the time that people aren't going to talk like that on the street, dude,
Yeah.
because they'd be getting their teeth knocked in, you know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think some people do need them.
What do they call them?
But-
Keyboard cowboys.
Yeah, you know, armchair quarterbacks, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Telephone tough guy.
it's treat people better. That's what
like
I've learned. That
That's a good one.
it always works out for you. Just be the better man. Walk away from the situation knowing that you're taking the higher road. That's what I think.
Fine.
Kill them with kindness, dude. They can be miserable, but don't join it. You know, don't let misery have company. Go away from that shit.
That's a good
You
one,
know,
Bobby.
people are insane.
See, there it
Just
goes.
thinking some of the things that they do, reoccurring, and they redo it over and over, and it's doesn't ever work out. You know, there's no advantages. Like smoking cigarettes, man. Being addicted, like nicotine releases dopamine. That's where you feel that's where the addiction comes in. But that's the only good thing about smoking cigarettes. It's the same principle. Like every other thing is bad. Like it's bad for your health. It stinks, you know. People don't like it, and it's fucking expensive, dude. And I've quit smoking like almost 2 years now, and
Best
I
decision
did
I
the
ever.
calculations, and I saved so much money. And it's all really. We were watching this thing on Netflix about the vaping and how that came like the Juul vape. And
Mhm.
it's pretty interesting, and like it's so addictive that nicotine is that it's hard to quit because there's so many other, like, you have your gum, your patches, your vapes, but you're not quitting. It's still releasing the dopamine. You're still addicted to nicotine. And 90% of the time you're gonna go back to smoking cigarettes. In which most of that is the burning of the paper or whatever. That's what's the worst for you. It's not actually the nicotine.
No, no, no. It's the chemicals they put in
Yeah.
it, the burning of the paper.
It's the burning of the tobacco, like the carbon soot and all that's going in your lungs.
Cigarettes is the hardest thing I ever
But
quit, man.
yeah, and it was a bitch.
Yeah.
But man, I'm so happy. I see those commercials on TV about, get help and, all this about quitting smoking. I'm like, man, I'm so glad I did. It's so hard.
Those commercials make me want to smoke.
Yeah,
They make me want to smoke. I think I
I
remember
still do want to.
I remember one of them. It was a non-smoking commercial, and I swear they put subliminal messaging in them to make you smoke. Um, but in this particular commercial, it showed some people enjoying life on a mountain snowboarding, and one of these guys went and did a jump with his snowboard. And I swear to God, when he came over the jump, the camera was from the bottom, so you saw the bottom of the board. The bottom of the board was white and then tan. It
It
looked
looked like a
just like a
cigarette.
cigarette.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Like that's I want to smoke now. Like that's
Yeah.
what y'all are doing.
Yeah.
Like, come on."
I mean, you can't really, it's subliminal. A lot of things are these days, too, I think,
Yeah.
You really just got to ask questions of what you're seeing. Like, I can't believe I just, like,
Did I
well,
really just see
yeah,
that?
dude, I know that's
Did I just see a cigarette?
that's a subliminal message, and I caught it, and I'm not that's trying to get me to do it. But what I was trying to say earlier was uh, about the nicotine quitting. It's what helped me quit, and some of the guys at the shop that smoke laugh about what I'm about to say, but and it's kind of silly. It's far fetched, maybe, but it's like what helped me quit the most, and I did it cold turkey, and that was the hardest because you just like, oh, I need a cigarette right
Yeah.
now. I'm about to punch a hole in the wall, dude. But you have to get angry at big tobacco and be like, hey, I'm paying them this much money a year to fucking kill me. Would you pay someone to kill you?
Slowly.
Slowly, agonizing death, dude. Like you get emphysema or whatever, any of that stuff, dude.
Heart
Attack,
disease.
dude. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad, dude. And that's all them things, man. Like you especially are really concerned about your health, or you pay attention to what you put in your body, you run, all that crap. And that's the same thing, man. It's like you're putting those carcinogens into your body and you're paying someone and they're sitting back like, ha ha ha, on their yacht.
On their yachts.
And they don't even smoke, dude. They're the drug dealer that did it the right way. They
Yeah.
don't do
Don't
their
get
own
high on their own
high
supply.
dude.
Yeah.
And you're giving them all this money to have this extravagant, awesome life. And you're over there broke, smoking cigarettes. And you're like,
It's like 10, $11 a pack now, too, man.
it's outrageous.
So that's if you smoke a pack a day, that's $70 a week
Yeah,
that you're literally throwing away.
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's going up in smoke, literally,
Good play on words,
Yeah,
Bobby.
dude. Up in smoke, dude. All your money and the cigarettes you smoke.
Yeah.
Nothing to show for it.
All right, everybody, have a good day. Visit at Mindbender Tattoo on Instagram. Mindbender Tattoo in real life is at Tulsa and 39th Street, right next to the 7-Eleven. Bobby Deneen.
4012 North Tulsa, 405 600 6201.
Bobby Deneen, Josh Reynolds, Matt Schneider, Jay Roberts, Rob
Carter, Jessica Budden, Zach Ratzlaff, and Dave Ruiz.
There you go. That's 8 artists you can look into if you're wanting to get a tattoo.
My wife will gladly
book you in.
enter, or yeah, no, well, for me she will, but
Yeah. Yeah. For
She'll
him.
at the door and treat you right.
Yes, she will.
Or answer the phone.
Everybody have a good day.
Thanks, man. Thank y'all. Deals.